All right. It is the 23rd of August, the year of our Lord 2023. This is the weekly Alaboom. I am Lance Mikes to the Undead Viking. As always, you have B Dog, B Money, Barry Reynolds.
B Money. B Ray, B Money. Triple
Yeah,
R.
there you go.
I've been called quite a few things in my life.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But anyway, we're live. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Like this is the penultimate episode of Alaboom in the August. Strangely enough, I have I think this happens every year, at least it has for several now. Stick H gives you a B Money, but I don't get a UDV or the Viking that is not dead or nothing like that.
No.
That's fun. Thanks, Stick H. Anyway.
Mm.
No, I got a fantasy football draft. We always draft our fantasy football teams the day before the very first game of the year. So it's always the Wednesday night before the Thursday night game. So not next week, but the week after, we might start late. If that's a possibility. So just keep that in mind. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Possibility of some new people stopping by to say hello. I'm not gonna mention names and get everybody excited, but maybe a few people. I know I talked to Aldi earlier today, so I know that that's happening. Aldi will be here.
Aldi will be here.
I have a grievance, but not one that I lost my mind over, if that makes any sense, but that'll make more sense here in a short little bit. I think that you guys, knowing me, in my my temper when it comes to dealing with ineptitude, usually does not manage to be kept in check on a regular basis. However, perhaps when I tell the story, I'll tell when Scott's gives me. So
okay,
you perhaps the aforementioned whatever that I am. But anyway, I have stories. I have things to talk about. But
there it is.
yeah, I mean, definitely. What anything new with you? Anything happened over the last week? Anything to report in the world of Barry Reynolds?
Let's see. Well, Jen's been sick.
That
So,
sucks.
yeah.
Feels better. I mean, is it like just got a little bit of the sniffles or?
Yeah, it's sort of like a sore throat cough. Yeah. So we really haven't been doing much with that. I did help a neighbor with a fence. That was interesting.
Was it like putting up a new one, or was it fixing an old one, or what?
Just tearing down the old one and putting up a new one. He didn't have to replace the post, but there was a language barrier on that one. He's from the Dominican Republic, so English isn't his first language. Yeah.
So how did you get recruited then to help him with the thing?
I don't know. I was playing my guitar outside, and he said, all of a sudden I got drafted by him and my other neighbor, the one next door to him. But it was weird. Like they had they bought panels, the 8-foot length panels of the fence already up.
Oh yeah,
So,
I've done the fence before.
All they got to do is screw it in. But there was this one section where there was only like maybe 4 or 6 inches between a shed and the fence. And the Christian was asking me, how do we do that? I say, we'll just toenail it from the back, from through the post, going through into the back of the fence instead of coming from the other side, just in this section, because there's no access to it. So here, his wife overheard me telling him this, and she wanted us to do the whole fence this way because of a paranoia of hers. She's like, they actually flipped the fence around so that the good face was facing the neighbor, as opposed to where it was facing inside their yard before. They flipped it around and then they wanted to screw it from the back side so people couldn't unscrew it from the other side or use the slats as a ladder. And I'm looking at her and I was like, you watch way too much TV. I mean, you're being way too paranoid here. Nobody, you live, first off, your neighbor's a cop. So I doubt he's going to go out there and unscrew your fence to bust into your property. Yeah, that's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's, but I can see where we're having having a language barrier would make that tough.
Yeah, it was. They're pretty good with English, but like I said, it's not their first language, so it takes some time to convert it in their head, I guess, or it just goes over their head sometimes with the different cultural things. Yeah, but yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, well, I've told the story about our fence in our backyard a few times. It's one of those ongoing projects that, like, it's been up for so long, and I'm not a professional fence installer,
Yeah.
and neither. I mean, it was so long ago that the place that we rented the post hole digger is no longer exists.
No
like
longer,
literally, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, like
Well, that's a lot of them.
well, yeah, but I mean, and this was a serious post. This was one of those you held two people you hold on hands.
The auger, yeah.
This was the whole, like, it had two big giant chunks and it had a whole machine and it would go down we would dig a giant hole and then it would, like, get stuck in the clay and you'd have to disconnect everything and put the bar in and manually pull the whole screw out of the ground and stuff like that. Anyway, it's there was a storm, now it's got to be like a decade ago, that it rained. It was like 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds, and it, like, dumped 4 or 5 inches of rain. It was just a marsh in the backyard, and the fence was not like the one we have now, where you have the interest, like the panels that are, it was just a flat wall, right?
Yeah.
It was just so, so the wind was just hitting it, and it was just, there was no breaks in the fence panels, and so that combined with the water getting into the ground, and with so much water, it basically
Shifted it down. Yeah.
Shifted them totally. And so, like, we were able to get them back up and brace them and stuff, but once they're shifted, you can never get them to stay put. So there's portions of our fence that are not straight up and down, obviously, anymore, and it just gets worse every year. And every summer my wife and I talk about just having somebody come in and tear it all up and then putting in a real fence. And we talk about, but one, we don't want to do a chain link, even though we know chain link would be, like, cheaper, relatively cheaper, and, like, whatever. And we don't want to do that because we like our fence because it gives us privacy, right, in our backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're right next to a walking path. I don't want people walking by and looking in at me. And I mean, maybe I'm weird like that.
That's on them. They see what they see. They look into your house. It's on them.
Hey, okay. This is hey, it's Fabio. That's right. That's Fabio. Fabio, this is my buddy Barry. Barry, this is Fabio.
Hello.
People
Hello.
that are watching, this is
Fabio.
This is
Said it
Fabio.
4 times now. Don't know who
Fabio
it is,
from
Fabio.
where are you connecting in from, Fabio?
Wait, I'm trying to figure out. Can you hear me well?
Yes,
No,
I can. Lance is just deaf.
no, I can't hear you, Fabio.
No,
No,
you
I
can't.
can hear you just fine. I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Fabio.
I think I'm calling from Brazil, right?
Brazil.
I'm from Santos, São Paulo.
Oh, okay. South America.
So here's my question. You're in Brazil. So
Yeah.
this is, I can't believe I've never asked this question before. So,
Okay.
right now it's August, right? And so where I am, it's like 95 degrees and hot and whatever. And I realize Brazil is not exactly, way south, as far as, I'm sure your weather there is fine, but do you
He's on the
consider like,
equator.
just could you stop? Like for August for you guys, is it considered to be like winter, or like when it's summer here, do you guys consider it to be winter where you are?
Yes, sort of. Yeah. But
Sort
right
of.
now we have a warm storm. So it's like because you Americans use a stupid metric system, right? You know.
We don't
you
use
know.
metric. We use
Yeah, you don't use it, the
No.
stupid metric system.
No.
You use your own, like everything is different.
Yes.
So we talk in meters, you talk miles and stuff like that. We talk in liters.
The true
you talk
measurements,
gallons.
yes.
Yes, and the right one is the metric system.
Yes, the feet.
But for yeah, no, the feet was something very different when they created this system, right?
I actually
So
just watched a
here,
thing on the metric system not long ago. It's kind of fascinating.
yeah,
I'm sorry, go
because
ahead.
it's the right system. I love talking about the right system, but we have like 37 Celsius degree right now, so it's very hot. You can Lance, we have talked about this. Lance has made the conversion. I can never make this conversion like 37 degrees, but we can always like Google it, right? So
I forget what
all
the
I
numbers
know
are.
is if it's
I will.
negative 40, but that's where Fahrenheit and Celsius are exactly the same at
Yeah.
negative 40. That's the only
almost
thing I know.
100.
100. Okay, so you got Scott's weather. All these weather.
Almost 98.6 Fahrenheit. So that's how it's hot here right now.
So do you have winters and summers, or is it just like a rainy season and a dry season?
No, we have winter. We
Okay.
don't have snow and stuff like that, but this could be very cold on the on even on the south part from Brazil. Could even like sort of snow, but it's not like you guys snow like you can make a house of ice. It's not that kind of cold. I wish sometime and of course
No, you don't.
because we always see Christmas. I don't know what the hell we're talking about this, but we here can always see the Christmas movies, right? And in Hollywood, American Christmas movies is with the snow and the snow houses, and you put everything out and it's very cold. And of course, like my kids want to see snow, want to like see reindeers and stuff like that, because it's the kind of stuff that they are used to on the movies, right? Because we see any kind of Christmas movie, we have this kind of white, everything's white, snow. So they are very willing to see how bad it is to like walk on the weather. And I have sort of like lived this on Germany, but at Essen, it's October, it's not that cold, but it's still very cold for me. So we are at the Gen Con, right? And you guys think, oh, it's like very warm and hot. For me, it's like super easy. It's not hot at all for me, because it's like we have more warm weather here. So that's the thing, Lance, about the weather here. I don't know why you have this question. You should come
to Brazil.
Yeah, Lance should come to Brazil.
What would I do there other than be annoyed by you?
There's a lot of steak down there.
Yeah,
a lot of cattle.
Yeah, we can eat a lot, and we have good beer.
Done.
We have good beer.
I will see what my wife says about visiting Brazil, and then and see if we can figure something out.
Yeah, because come on,
I just texted Shane. I said Fabio's on the Alaboom if you want to say hello. He said, "Oh hell no."
Of course not. It's Shane. We love Shane.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
No, so Fabio, if you were to explain to people what you do in the board game world, what is it that you do?
Ooh, it's a long question because I started doing reviews. I have my own channel, and after a while, I like when we have a saying in Brazil that when you are very young and the thing is coming, the first you are the first discover, the first entrepreneurs on the field. We call that everything was tall grass. Like, oh, I was here since everything was tall grass and we had nothing. So when I start with board games, we are talking about the coming of the modern board games, right? Because the board games that I used to play when I was a kid, it was like Monopoly and the rip-off version of Risk in Brazil, because they rip off the Risk, and the rip-off version of Cosmic Encounters. And this become like almost like 10 years ago. The first like the modern board games, how you call it here, the modern board games start coming. So I of course I used to play RPGs and board games, but always the ones that someone bring from Europe or United States. And when this movement started, I started to doing my own reviews and my videos, and I started to talking with some new publishers and said, "Oh, you should talk like with this guy and bring this game. This game is very good," and stuff like that. And after like 1 or 2 years, one of my oldest partners said, "Why you keeping like giving good advice about good board games so that someone else sell the game and make money? Why don't you do this? You do this." And I said, yeah, I think I'm that dumb. And we started the company called Meeple Brazil, the Meeple BR. And after like 3 or 4 years into the Meeple BR, we have some very different points of view on board games itself, the board games industry. And I have my own projects going on. And we decided to split the company, and I started with some other partners. The Mosaic, who is the one that we are working right now. So it comes from a long way from like just do reviews and talking how much I love board games, and start to talking with the new publisher and some old ones like the publisher that used to print RPGs, and they become board game publishers also. And after that, start their own company, and after that have like a new company from this old one that I used to be partnered with. So that's how long I worked with board games, since everything was tall grass. They have nothing here, and I was there. I was in the beginning. I hopefully through the end, right? From the beginning through the end, I hopefully, or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah, that was a
interesting.
really long answer. Just
I told you.
He told you. He warned you.
Is there a lot of board game players in Brazil?
Not a lot. But we have a very that's the thing with Brazil, with Brazilians, right? We are very passionate people. Like when we start talking about board games and we start to playing, and we have some guys coming and they start to play also. So we like to talk about, we like to play, we like to Brazil. The guys are very sociable here. We like to stick together. Like we don't mind to be alone. Usually we like to stick together. So board games is a very good answer for our need to be and of course joking around. Like we can play games, and sometimes like 1 hour game can become 3 hours just because we keep like interrupting someone and just joking around and making fun of each other movements or plays or stuff like that. So I have some well-known like a huge group of board games, but it's not that like Gen Con or not that like anything else. Like in Brazil, we have our the Tom Vessel came to Diversão Offline, like it's offline fun in English, and then we have like 7,000 people. So that was huge for us.
That's
But
not that bad, actually.
yeah, no, you go to Gen Con or you go to any major, like this is the major convention in Brazil, and we can like have this much people, but it's not even close like Essen or anything even remotely medium size to large size in America or even Europe. But it's going. Like I remember the first offline fun in Brazil. We traveled from São Paulo to Rio de Janeiro, like 7 hours drive with our car full of wrong chemistry. Was the first board game that we released. This old board game, like we have a deal with the guy from Greece, and he said, "Oh, we have this game," and we bring it, and we like shovel everything in the car, and we drove like 7 hours, and we have like 600 people, like 300 2 days, like 600 in total, and was huge. Like, oh, so many people, and it's like usually Saturday for the guys, like make any kind of small convention. And back then, like 7 years ago, was really huge. Now it's getting even more places. And like in Brazil, if sometime along the way the board games start to appear like in soap operas, now we know that we have go to the outside of the niche. When someone put someone playing board games in a soap opera in Brazil, that indication that it becoming popular. So you guys can understand, like be on the movies, and Brazil is so popular. So that's the thing.
So what are the challenges of board gaming in Brazil? Like I know we have distribution issues here, but normally we could get a game anytime we want. You know, what are some of the challenges down there?
We don't. It's a different system. Like you guys have like some distribution partners that take the games and sell to the stores. We don't have that many stores, and like I'm a publisher, I sell directly to the stores. I don't have someone who take all the games and make like a full list to make the distribution. And of course all the taxes, because we pay too much tax on everything. And when you bring something from China, like I remember when I think Trump said Trump did something about China, they would like 25% taxes on board games, and Shane become, oh my God, I'm gonna die with 20. Like 25% for us it would be so amazing. We pay almost 100% on taxes here. So we only lose to Russia on taxes from importation. So that's how, and the system is very confused. We have a lot of tax over taxes. Like it's not just one. Like, oh, you pay 100%. That's your tax. No, we have one and another beside this one that goes on top on that one. We have the city taxes, we have the state taxes, we have the federal taxes. Everything to bring a board game, and we pay upfront. We not sell the games and here's your cut, my partner from the state. No, we pay everything in advance. When we took the games from the warehouse, we have already had to pay all the taxes. So we don't even have start to selling the game. We don't have even the game at the warehouse. You are paying we have already paid the tax for it. So that's the craziest thing. Because you guys are like way over like on Europe, because they pay VAT. I think it's 17% usually on Europe, for instance, but they pay only after they sell the games. Like you receive the games and you have the game at your house, you start to selling, you start to pay. And the difference is that we have because I'm working in logistics, right? So we have a legislation in Brazil that once the or the ocean vessel arrive to the port, even
Right.
before they take the containers, you already own the taxes. So even you say, frick it, I don't want it, I don't want this game. You own the taxes. You can not take the games, not take the merchandise, not take the product, but you already own the states what you should pay for taxes for the states. That's the legislation.
That's
Amazing,
similar-
right?
Yeah, it's similar like that on the publisher end, right? Lance? You pay the tariffs and all that before.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
warehouse.
So the way
I mean, they're not as high from what you're saying, but
No, I mean the problem is that you need to obviously figure that into the prices that you're going to try to charge for certain things, and
Yeah.
it's a giant pain. So
then as a consumer, we pay taxes again when we buy. It depending on the state, but
well,
usually-
and so that's what I mean. I see a post online all the time about like people saying, "Oh, the shipping for this is exceedingly stupid" or whatever, and it's just kind of like, man, especially crowdfunding people, board game people are just with crowdfunding are just they were spoiled for years because I mean I can tell you that when Tasty Minstrel,
whose fault is that?
I don't no they were spoiled because okay, well Tasty Minstrel, like whatever we used to all the time we would be like,
Mhm.
oh, you want a copy of this? It's $60 free shipping. Well, you were paying the shipping. The game cost $40, and we were just taking the $20 off the top and using it to pay the shipping.
Yeah.
But people saw $60 free shipping, and they were like, "Oh, give me that!" You know, that's because it's just and what drives me crazy is that you explain to people that like when you go to the grocery store and you buy a can of tomato soup for
Yeah, it's a-
$1.79. Part of that price is the cost of what it took to get that can of tomato soup
Yeah.
to that shelf, but you don't see it, and you just pay $1.79 because you've been paying $1.79 for a can of tomato soup for years. You don't even think about it. Well, the problem is that we delineate out the shipping because of the fact that when you do a back Kickstarter, you are instead of you making tomato soup and shipping it off to distribution centers and they're paying you the money and they're taking care of everything else after that. You are your distribution. So you're like, oh, I've got 2,500 board games and 1,600 of them are going to the United States and 600 are going to Canada and 7 are going to Brazil. And I got to deal with this Fabio guy to make sure it happens. And it's just, and so you charge them what it costs to do that. And people are like, oh, this is stupid. It shouldn't cost $16 for you to ship me a $6 box from California to me. And it's just like, well, then don't buy it. Wait for retail. Shut up. You know, I don't know, man.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
No, I am like that because
He
I
is.
just because you
I
try
have-
because it doesn't matter how many times you explain it to those people and how many times you like they don't want to hear it because
No,
it's a super jagged pill to have to swallow that it's just like you are paying what it takes for somebody to put your shit in a box and send it to you. There's no magical shipping fairy. There's no cool way for you to get this stuff in a box and get it to you for $7. Those days are long gone. They are gone. I mean, 15 years ago, Scott, you can attest to this. 15 years ago, it didn't matter what freaking online store they had $100 free shipping. $125 free shipping, $75 free shipping.
Don't they all have that now still?
Well, I mean,
Most of them, yeah.
to a certain point, but it's higher now. It's like
Wait,
most of them are.
is that an Alanis Morissette reference, by the way, with the jagged little pill?
I don't know.
It's not a song or an
That
album?
was, I think that was the name
cover,
of the
yeah.
album now, but I mean,
No, actually, I think it was a song, Scott. I think there was a song on
Yeah,
there
it was
called
a song.
Jagged
I'm
Little
sure
Pill.
Kabuki
Yeah.
will tell us. But no, I mean, so no, the whole thing is that it's oh, sorry.
But what's
Scott,
the point?
Here we're talking about shipping and and tariffs and things like that. So
Sure.
first of all, Fabio meets Scott Alden, the guy who runs Board Game
Fabio.
Geek.
Fabio,
Hello.
how are you doing?
Fabio runs basically a board game company in Brazil,
Very cool.
and he handles our Brazilian backer distribution for Gray Fox. And I just want to say,
Oh, you got to deal with Lance. I feel so
No,
sorry
no,
for
no,
you,
no, no,
Fabio.
no, no, no. I have to deal with Fabio because people contact us like, "Oh, I'm still waiting for my stuff," and then I say, "Well, you have to deal with Fabio," and then Fabio just doesn't answer their emails or doesn't say anything to
Smart
them,
man.
and then
Of
those
course
people
not.
get more angry.
The
And
best
then-
way is not answer the email. Like, where is my stuff? Yeah. Eventually it will come. Like,
So so there's so many times I'm like, "Fucking Fabio, why don't you answer this guy?" And so then I finally got to learn. I think I may have told this story, but the very quick story is like, "Oh, I get to meet Fabio for the first time ever at Gen Con." I was like, "Oh, really? I get to meet this cretin like has caused me nothing but problems." And then I was trying to get him a badge so he could get in, and I was like, "Go to door H," and I couldn't call him because his phone doesn't work, and I didn't have whatever seventh party weird app to contact him.
WhatsApp?
WhatsApp, whatever.
Everybody use
Yeah.
WhatsApp, man.
Yeah.
So I
We don't use WhatsApp in
emailing
America.
him.
I mean, some do, but
My
Yeah.
sister,
it's not
my
as much
sis-
as it is overseas.
only if
No,
you
I-
have overseas people. My sister does it for her family in Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
It's huge
emailing, and he's emailing me back, and I'm like, "Just stay by door H." I go down to door H, and he's like, "No, I'm over at the place you were at." I'm like, "God damn it!" And then he's taking a picture of himself and sent it to me. And I was like, "Well, now at least I know your beady little eyes." And I was like, "Well, I look
Have
like
you not
this."
seen each other before?
No, we
No.
never had.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, my daughter and I finally tracked him down. Even my daughter was like, she was like, "Fucking Fabio," and I was like, "I know."
God damn,
Fabio.
Fabio.
And then we saw him, and then I was like, "Here you go, have fun or whatever." And like 2 hours later, he came over and he started joking around with me and having fun. And then I decided I liked him because he was
Fabio, I
funny.
noticed you've got
and he was nice.
pretty hardy Aaliyah collection up there. How'd you get those games? Those are a bit older. The
What?
Aaliyah, you got Aaliyah games up there that I can see, like with the
Yeah.
original Aaliyah.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those, I'm assuming those were hard to get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in Brazil.
That's what I was about to say.
That was.
You probably had to pay a pretty penny for those.
Yeah. I have some from TMG also.
Oh, that
And-
company.
Oh, well, those aren't really. That's
Yeah.
not as cool.
No.
The Aaliyah
But
ones.
that's
That's gamer cred right there.
the in the Year of the Dragon, it's my wife and one of my wife preferred games.
Well, that's the best Feld game ever made.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Stop there. It's
Debatable.
like on the top 5 for sure.
I think Castles of Burgundy is pretty good.
Yeah, I really,
It's not brutal enough. In the Year of the Dragon is just brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to play I had played yesterday, Cangaceiros. There's an Italian guy who make a game about Brazil Northwest, like militias guys that run the I don't know how you call the desert of Brazil, the part of the Northwest. They're like a paramilitary organization that goes and steals stuff and stuff like that. That the game is brutal. The game's like you play, you have you choose 3 cards and you can upgrade those cards or whatever you stop on a part of the geographic over there, and has a lot of take that, like you keep changing events to screw over other guys, and you push the army called volantes in Brazil. It's the same because the guys have the game's in English, right? But everything else is in Portuguese, like all the names, all the cities, all the characters and stuff like that. And you keep pushing the guys around so they can shoot all the other characters in the game. That's brutal game. If you like brutal games, like go on after the players. Cangaceiros is like right in your alley because it's. I didn't like it all. I like the feeling good about.
Yeah, I like feeling good in games too.
Yeah, I like
I
to
think
feel
Lance is the only one
clever.
that likes to
Yeah, I like
can
to
deal
feel
with some of
clever.
it.
games. Yeah.
But that was sorry for like go on lanes, but I know that sometimes an email, especially I'm not that good in English, especially writing down. So sometimes we lost in translation, and sometimes I think, oh, I have make a perfect point what I'm thinking, and the guys come back with the email and say what, and I'm totally lost. But it was good to talk to Lance. We talk about a lot of stuff and how
that's-
old Lance are. Like
He is old.
he has this histories with Vanilla Ice and stuff like that. That was amazing. And when I come back, I used to play on the because you have we have a lot of instrument on the side. I used to play drums, and we start talking about music and stuff like that, and how I start to play, and I was right there in the Pure Jam show. It like was one of the greatest band that I wanna be like when I start to play. And I was talking to the guys, and after that, I don't have any like, if I see anyone like from the media, the industry or whatever, I'm not impressed. Like I can go straight through whatever guys you think that would be great, and I'm okay. I will talk to the guy, but it's not like impressed because I have all of that on at the early age. So when I was very impressible, I was talking to the guys that I want to be, like Pearl Jam. I want to be my band, want to be Pearl Jam. And so after that, and it was so nice to talk to Lance about all this other stuff beside board games. I think we talked like 3 times about board games, all the Gen Cons back and forth.
Doesn't surprise me. He
Green
hates board
Fox.
games.
With Lance, he doesn't even like board games.
He hates board
Yeah.
games. Yeah. He
No,
hates people
yeah,
too. I'm
it's
surprised
surprised
he
he
even-
even.
it's
guy or
been well
something.
established that I hate
Been well
board games.
established, you don't like games.
I'm surprised he
It's-
even talked to you. He hates people. I mean,
Well, we
yeah,
have at least 3 people that he likes because he would
he
not
tolerates
invite
us. I don't know about likes.
any-
No,
Yeah.
it's a very fair. It's very fair. That is an absolute fair assessment that my love. Josh and I recently Josh, one of the 3 people that one of the 2 co-owners of Gray Fox Games and one of my 2 bosses, and obviously one of the 3 employees of Gray Fox Games. We played a game Tuesday morning, and I'm not going to say anything about the game or whatever. And it was something where it took us about 2 hours to get through it. And there was a lot of conversation between the 2 of us and discussing different things about the game or whatever. And we were going back and forth as to whether or not we thought it was worth Gray Fox. I mean, the game itself was good, but it needed a lot of balancing and a lot of stuff to make it like publishable. And we were kind of going back and forth about it, and then I immediately said no, it's too much work, and I don't know if it really fits into what we do, and you know, and this thing. And then Josh was much more in favor of it, and then slowly but surely over the course of an hour of discussion, he brought my opinion up as to whether it's something we should take on, and I brought him down. So we met in the middle of, well, I'm going to go to Shane, and I'm going to say, and I'm not going to, because if I say anything about it, it'll give away too much. And he's like, I'm going to go to Shane, and I'm going to say this. And if he says yes, we'll sign the game. And if not, I'm going to go break somebody's heart. He's just like, you know, and I was like, all right, fair enough. And it's like, and then I said, maybe you shouldn't take my opinion about this game to heart. I said, because it takes so much for a game to be something that I'm like actually really jazzed about. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh,
I mean,
this game.
I can't imagine how you even sign a game anymore.
Yeah,
I
really.
just,
It's so impossible.
And Josh like said that, and he's like, he said, I know what you're saying. It's like, but he said, I feel like I'm able to strip like my own. He's like, he asked me, he's like, you need to work on getting your feelings of the game out of the way and like seeing what the game actually does and look at it through a veneer of somebody that isn't you. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. But I don't think we signed the game. I think he said his
You
one
guys sign
statement.
anything?
Well, no, I mean, okay, so here, I mean, this is what we have planned. We have Kickstarter launching September 5th. The World's in Midgard. which will be Clans of Midgard and Reavers of Midgard. The card game will be 2 smaller box games, not small box games, but smaller box games, both very good. Then after that, we are going to do the Last Slide reprint with the expansion material that was not included in what we did for the first run. That will take us through the rest of this year. Next year, we have Reavers of Midgard, the board game expansion. We have probably enough material to make 2 expansions to After the Empire, but we need to figure out how we're going to do that. So we have that to do. We have Prophets of Doom, which is a game, a tableau, no, it's more like a tile laying game where each person creates their own doomsday cult, and you put different buildings down to create a doomsday cult. And like the doomsday is actually coming though, and so like after a certain number of turns, it's a tile drafting game. After a certain number of turns, the end of the world comes, and then whoever prepped themselves the best for doomsday wins. That game's fantastic. I love that. We have a super heavy Euro called God King, which is you start off as a demigod that has 1 domain, say like you are the god of nature, and then as you gain power, you gain other domains, and so you combine domains together. So like if you are like, say you're the god of death and the god of knowledge, well then you become the god of secrets, and then so on and so forth. And then you play this very heavier worker placement Euro that eventually, and as you gain these different domains, you gain secret powers and abilities that nobody else has. The game like was reacting to you in a certain way, but once you gain access to these other domains, the game reacts to you in a different way. It is incredibly dense, but it is very good. But we need to develop the heck out of it still. So
So you didn't actually sign any games at Gen Con? You're just talking about games you already had.
That's all the games. I don't think we
like you took pitches though, right?
We got 3 right now. One of them is the one I just talked about. There's 2 other ones that are really good, but we need to. I mean, it's just we only have so much bandwidth, man. I mean, it's just like Josh is squirreled away in Albania, just like working on all these games and working on them and working on them and working on them. I mean, we've got big news coming in the Champions of Midgard world, relatively soon as well. I can't really talk about that other than there's something coming. Yeah, I don't know. We got so much stuff. It's just, and so when somebody comes up and they're like, "Hey, this game," it literally has to make somebody that
Yeah, I mean,
it has to make Shane lose his mind. And that's what God King.
Yeah, of course. Oh, that's good.
He played God King once, and
you give me more information that Shane ever give me about the next games. Like every time I talk, it's like a piece of information. I said, what else? But different from Lance, and I worked some sort of not that many years, but I'm always excited about the games that I pursuing, that I signing, that I'm licensing, and I can like that there's something that is a knowledge like here in Brazil that when I start talking about board games and games stuff, I can be like hours without stopping talking, because I'm so in love with board games. There's something that I can talk like forever, because it's something that when I was young, I was playing RPG and stuff like that. So we are playing RPG at the classroom. Like I have a friend that is a master, dungeon master, stuff like that. And we are like studying, I don't know, mathematics. And we are like there and writing now, and he's just passing by saying, "Who? You are in the forest right now. So you can hear like something come along, and you see your friend." And we stop the classroom to just play board games in the middle of the class. That's how we get so involved on everything else, on RPG and stuff like that, because it was part of me growing up. So it's a very huge part of what I do right now. And I was off of board games and RPG for years before I came back. So I have all this feeling of like I'm in the classroom and someone pass along and we block the word. Like the teacher was like amazing how we can go back to the back of the classroom. We start to playing and like ignore everything else. Like we don't have lunchtime, anything. We just go there and play RPG and start to doing our own board games. So we are always playing something, always trying to make someone else laugh and try to make this amazing discoveries and adventures in the middle of the classroom. And like we have carnival in Brazil, like 5 days, and we have like for 4 years we are my father and my mother go to the countryside to his farm, and we are at a city, and we have like 5-6 kids come over and they sleep over like 5 days, and we are just playing RPGs and board games for like 5-6 straight days. That has a time that we only have the pizza. I can't remember the word in English, but only the bottom of the pizza, right? And we don't have anything else to put. Yeah, and we don't have anything else to put on top of it. And it's like, oh, what are you gonna eat? I don't know. Look, and we start to looking at the kitchen to something to be a top on the pizza and stuff like that. When we found like some remains of something that my mom like did like 4 days ago before she, and we put everything else to the oven, and we are like playing, and becomes like sometimes the guy, the delivery guy passing through, just ring the bell and said, oh, someone ordered a pizza and the guy don't want it. You guys want it? It's like,
that's a scam, by the way.
Yeah, not in Brazil. Not in Brazil.
Oh, it's Brazil.
Because you get familiar with the guys, like with the delivery guy from our favorite pizza place. So the guy knows us, and he's like, oh, I will not going back with this pizza. I will pass to the kids and like give them discount and stuff like that, and come back with the money. And he passed, oh, are you guys playing stuff like that? And you did not order pizza. Do you want this? And it was like, oh yeah, why not? And we make like change, go to everyone else's pockets, and
hopefully there was no anchovies on it.
Yeah, no, we don't eat anchovies in Brazil. It's very not usual. Not usual.
Very not usual.
Very good.
Same in America.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, we don't like it.
Yeah, I think I remember growing up, we had a pizza come to our house and be like, we didn't order this. And like, well, someone ordered it, and then they just gave it to us, and it was an anchovy pizza, of course. So I think it was like a, prank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you seem like a pretty young guy. Are you a younger gentleman?
Yeah. Next
a
week,
gentleman never asks.
I know. I don't want to say how old are you. I'm just curious.
Next week, I wanna have 47 years old.
Oh, okay.
Almost 50. Oh my God!
You're not there yet.
Just
keep that number below 50 for a while longer. You're not. No hurry. No, you're not.
I'm old.
I wish I was 47.
Yeah, you wish. You don't look that much old. Maybe with a little bit.
Yeah.
Lacey looks like he has like 75 years old from the feelings of an old cranky guy, not the image.
Lance. Oh,
I am an old cranky guy.
You were born in the 70s, then. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
he's younger than
77.
He's a little older than me. Yeah, I was in 78.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Star Wars?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, you were born after Star Wars, so I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Or was that the same year as Star Wars? 77? 76?
76.
77.
When
was Star Wars? 76?
It was before I was born, Scott.
I mean, you're definitely like young, but I mean, I use that as a gauge.
Yeah. I watch E.T. on the movies.
E.T.
It's a good movie.
E.T. on
That
the
was
movie.
what, 86, I think? 85? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sounds right.
was young when they come with
So
ET in
the
Brazil. So,
77 Star Wars, right?
yeah,
77.
the same year. And that's I'm not I'm so happy I'm not look that old, but
No, you're. I thought you were. Yeah, I thought you were. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, cool. Gaming's fun, right? Is this?
Yeah.
Is it your company, or do you work in the? Do you have another job as outside of publishing?
Yeah, yes, I'm a custom broker and work with logistics. That's
just
why
like-
I'm keeping helping
you're
a
using
lot
your
of
expertise.
publishers. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's a tricky. Brazil is a tricky.
yeah.
A
I
tricky
have a lot
landscape.
I have a lot of publishers that said I will not deliver in Brazil anymore because it's
Every time we get an
impossible.
order to be Brazil, if it's over $50, we don't do it.
Yeah,
Really that low? You
Yeah,
get burned.
I don't think
And-
most of the times they don't get it, and then we end up having the refund.
Yeah. You get,
and right now even lower. They're taking taxes for even lower right now. So that's the thing. That's the thing that keep annoying Lens about shipping stuff. But the guys coming back to what Lens was complaining about, the guys do not get that we don't have free lunch. So if the guys say it's free, it's not really free. Someone is paying on the road. So if you make like someone is like in Brazil, the same thing. So we have like anything on São Paulo state and even Southwest that it's on São Paulo, it's cheaper, right? So you make like, oh, that much, we're gonna give you free shipping. But you are putting in the game, in the costs of the game, from the guy who's like far away, he's paying more.
It's subsidized.
Because you take as amount, right? So it will be that much part, and you put on the game costs itself, and make free shipping, or you are losing money. And in Brazil, some stores losing money giving free shipping away, but they will be not here. Like 1 year, they will be not here because they are not making money. That's the good part that I learned with going to United States and talking with a lot of Americans. You guys know how to make money, like how things is supposed to be to make money. At least most, I think.
I don't know about
But
the board game industry, but maybe other industries.
it's trying. Well, no, the board game industry is bigger. You know, it's $1 billion industry, whether we realize that or not.
There's a couple companies there that are more responsible for the billions.
Yeah, but still, it's still $1 billion industry. Yeah.
yeah, but even the small publisher and stuff like that can survive. Like the guys can make the project, the guys can make the Kickstarter, and sometimes go really well. And
Kickstarter was a dramatic shift in the industry to let more people have companies.
Yes.
But you have the history of some Kickstarter companies that like went bankrupt after the Kickstarter because they do so well. They have.
I got the bankruptcy notice right here from France.
Really?
Oh wait, that's my address. Not that you can't look it up, but whatever. Holy Grail Games, remember them?
Yeah.
Holy Grail, yeah.
They went back.
Good thing there's Google Translate because it's a French bankruptcy notice. Although it's a one pager, I'm not sure how official. I mean, it's official. It's a lawyer.
But
I got that in the mail today.
The Holy Grail has a problem with the part of the distribution and part of the project on Kickstarter itself, right? You don't know.
What was their games? I don't even remember now. Holy Grail Games. Do you guys remember? I mean, I can look it up if we want to talk about it.
No, I don't. Did they do the Joan Arc thing? No, that wasn't Holy Grail.
No, that was it was Rallyman, Encyclopedia, and Museum. I mean, I like those games.
Rallyman, yeah.
Yeah, and so part of this came from the doing really well, and we have some large. I don't know how you guys think on large companies, but we have like some good companies, well-known companies that almost went south for being so well on Kickstarter because they have to add and make stuff like that, and this become
Yeah,
this
destroys
delay
them.
the process, delay the game, and and with you delay a project
Yeah.
and it starts to bleed money because you have to deliver, you have to pay the new things that you put on the Kickstarter, or you have to deliver for the backers, right? So it's making bleeding money. Sometimes the best way is just to put something like there and said that's the game. This is the best game that I can publish. Of course we can like have something different, make some foil stuff and more pretty stuff, but not keep adding stuff, because when you don't have play tested and when I have like 2 or 3 games from Kickstarter that when you put everything that they sent to you, the
Wrecks
game is like, yeah, the game is shit game.
Yeah.
For sure.
We call it like shit game here in Brazil.
All kinds of that stuff there.
Yeah, we
You-
call it all sorts of stuff here. That's being nice what you said.
Yeah, but and that's the fun part, because you really feel robbed, right? Said,
Yeah.
oh, I paid to have like this much content of games and doesn't work because the guy had to create it and not play test it well and
Yeah.
have to make stuff like that. And then
Garbage.
and yeah, and this can really break a company
Yeah.
and take the company off the business doing really well, that someone is not prepared for add that much content on the project. So that's also a problem with some companies, right, Lance?
Sure, whatever.
Whatever.
I
Whatever.
played a giant Kickstarter game this weekend.
Did you? Which
Burn
one's
Cycle.
got
I played Burn Cycle.
Burn Cycle? How was it?
I'll be right back. I gotta get my kids to bed. First day of school. 1 second.
Okay. Nah.
It didn't really do much for me.
Nah.
I
remember
feel it
hearing
was
about
overly complicated, and in the end, I didn't understand why it was so complicated for what's simplistic. I mean, I think it's interesting, but I don't feel it's worth playing at a 4. It's really not. It's not made for 4 players. And it's also it's just so complicated. I mean, it boils down to a roll to move game.
Really?
You know, like, yeah, it was just weird. It's just an odd.
I thought you
Just-
got past
I
that.
feel like it's
shit.
one of those games that maybe initially. I mean, I love the theme of it. It's so good. You're basically rogue robots trying to like take down a corporation, and it's all in the cyberpunk stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like super, high fantasy, not high, like high sci-fi kind of like you are a robot,
Right.
rogue robot, and
Okay.
and it took us a long time to figure out what the burn cycle was, because it's like we didn't actually like understand that until like maybe not an hour of rules, but maybe a half an hour of rules. We're like, what is this burn cycle? What they keep talking about? So we had to like kind of go back and see what it was. You basically what it is you have this robot that's, I guess the story is it's sort of taking over itself. It's become sentient, except
Okay.
it's not. And you're controlling the actions of yourself plus that robot, but you're only allowed to control it kinda. So it's like kind of a program. It's not really a programming game, but you have actions that you're doing, and you are fighting against the system of it taking away actions from you, or making your actions not be ideal. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
I get it. Yeah.
Which is called the burn cycle.
Okay.
I mean, it was super unintuitive. Believe me, I'm like, oh, I finally get it. These are the action points. And you look at when they're in it, you have to do them in order, and they have a certain color. And if they match the color of what you're doing, you have it like optimized.
Sure.
I mean, it took us literally like a half an hour to figure that out. Somehow we overlooked it. We didn't understand it. It's not really explained that well. We watched a video. It didn't make sense. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to bag on. I love that company. I love all their stuff, but I feel like this game was just not good for me.
Yeah. What the best game you have played like last month? The game that
Kinfire.
ooh,
That's it's a new release, right?
everyone has-
It's a new one. It's a new release from
Kinfire?
Incredible Dream. Kevin
Yeah.
Wilson.
Okay.
Teamfire, it's like an open world, sort
No.
of, right? You have the character and start to building up.
Yeah, your character is based on cards. You have a card deck of actions. your card deck is made of 9 actions and paired with 9 boosts, they're called. So it's
Oh.
18 cards. It's like an 18 card deck, and you can kind of sort of swap things in and out. Like you swap them out in pairs. So if I have the acid arrow, I have to take out the acid boost. And if I put in the sleep arrow or in the sleep boost. So you basically can kind of semi-construct the deck. But it's only 18 cards, so it's not really a lot.
Hmm.
And your character is basically, it's a fantasy character. It's a fantasy trope. It's a lot of fantasy trope stuff. I mean, it's made up. It's not following any kind of, it's not any intellectual property that we know of. It's just something that they've created. But it's really fun. I think it got underplayed as a Kickstarter. I think they should have went heavier on the Monster Hunter aspect, because it is a Monster Hunter game. You go through this like pre-scenario, or you're playing through the scenario, and it's kind of a choose your own adventure, kinda.
Right.
And then you fight a monster or a team of monsters. Like we fought the most recent one was 3 bandits, and they were kind of, they're tough. You don't take them down with one hit. You have to actually do the tactics against them, right? You have to use tactics and kind of a little bit of strategy. I mean, it's like you have a plan. It has a bit of a randomness to it where you draw the actions out of a bag. So if we draw their action out of the bag, they get to go. So it's one of those kind of chit draw, you draw out of the bag, and you're mixed in the bag too. So if they draw you, you can take your action. And there's ways to mitigate that. There's ways to draw more chips out of the bag. So you can pick who go, you draw 4 and pick 1, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I really liked it, and the art is awesome, and it's phenomenal. The art, and it's all and I think this is not really popular with Kickstarter. It's not minis, it's standees, acrylic, very high quality acrylic standees. Really nice art. I love that. I'm looking at it, and it's painted.
The basic version came with the
cardboard standees, but I had the upgrade with the acrylic, which are really nice.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, I feel like the cardboard standees would be just as nice. The acrylic ones are just a little fancier, they just look a little nicer.
Yeah. I see the Kingfire was on my short list to games to see, because of course I'm publisher. So, but the games, I think it would be too huge.
It was
to bring to Brazil.
It was like $120, I think, for the base game, and it's like, I mean, it's a monster box. It's huge.
Yeah,
it's an impressive game. I mean, you open it up and you look inside, and there's 20 or 15 like thick envelopes. They're like, you're not an envelope of boxes. Like
yes, it's a small
like
box.
thin and long. They look nice. All the art
look like a bookshelf.
Yeah, it's like a bookshelf. Yeah,
it's very the product itself. It's very, very nice, and I see the girl there showed me the dragon, the acrylic dragon, that was fantastic. And usually most of you're usually work with the plastic, so when they say acrylics, sort of like a step down, you think,
that's what I think.
Step down. And when you see
I prefer it though. Like I never paint anything, so it's not like, I'm looking at piece of play plastic on the table.
Yeah, and it's light,
plastic.
Right? It's
it's very nice.
And the weight also helps, because it's not that heavy.
It's not. I mean, believe me, it's the minority. Everybody wants gigantic amounts of miniatures on Kickstarter. So I mean, I get it, but it's not. I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah,
because I'm not painting anything.
Yeah,
and you're very.
I would rather play with good art.
I'm not a fan of Kickstarter, so I don't play too many new games. Most recently, is Carcassonne, the co-op one, Mist Over Carcassonne. That's probably the newest game we played. Actually, we played today. We played. Scott was kind enough to give me a couple of the Carcassonne maps while I was down there in Texas.
Oh, yeah?
Although he didn't give me the tokens.
I didn't know there was tokens.
I know, I'm messing with you, Scott.
I didn't know how. I've actually not played them, because I've not played those maps.
I'm messing with you, Scott. But it was. I enjoyed it. I like the constraints of the printed stuff on the maps and the borders.
So how does it work? You have to play on the map to match the tiles. Is that how it works?
You got the map, and you have to have the base game and at least 2 expansions. You need at least 110 or 120 tiles to play the US maps is what I
Okay.
got. And then these tokens are color coded, and there's a point value either 1 or 2 on them. So you put the tokens down face down in certain spots, and then you take, I think it's 15 tiles, and you lay them face down on color coded spots on the board. So every time you butt up against, or every time you cover one of these spots with the tokens on it, you get the point value, and then you can look at one of these color coded tiles that are face down. And when you build up next to these face down tiles, you can either gain 2 points if you can match it to the tile you're connected it to, or if you can't, you lose 2 points. All right. So there's a kind of memory thing with that. And then the printed spaces on the tiles, they give you, there's 2 shields on each city section, and then there's roads that have shields on it. So it's more points. And then there's 2 starting spots instead of 1, I guess because it's so big. But yeah, I forgot how brutal Carcassonne can be. Everybody thinks it's a nice little family
play
game,
it.
but it
Yeah,
could
you can play
be
mean.
nasty.
Yeah.
Good. Jen's very nasty with it. You know, she's always, I call her scat.
She's
She
always-
always getting into my cities, and
She's always
all.
getting where you play next to the
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to play here with my kids. We used to play with the Princess and the Dragon.
Yeah.
So every time someone, like my son, is like, oh, it's annoying as hell because he's keeping the dragon will walk, the dragon will walk, the dragon will, and he put all the dragons. And yeah, the dragon will walk.
Earn everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat everything, and you are making a huge amount of points, and he's like, no, not anymore, and he eats your meeple away. So they really enjoy it, play Carcassonne here. It's one of their favorite games.
Yeah,
And
I
we have
think
a
that's
lot
my
of
voice.
expansion. And this one looks interesting with the map. I will try to bring one. Then even I have asked the game I haven't played. I have played like because I have to test. It was G.I. Joe, the deck building game.
Okay.
And
Is it good?
and it's a okay for the game itself. It's okay game. It's okay, right? It's not bad. It's not that good. It's okay game. But for someone have because you guys have G.I. Joe there, right? And I used to have the cartoon and then the miniatures, the figurines from G.I. Joe. Like we don't have G.I. Joe in Brazil. Like I think it's 20
Well,
years.
he's the greatest American hero.
Yeah,
Gojo?
and we don't have
Isn't that
G.I.
what?
Joe.
Isn't that what the phrase was? G.I. Joe?
Yeah, and we don't have anymore here. We used to have the cartoon and all the, and when we bring,
I don't think it's around here anymore either.
It died down. They tried to reboot it with a couple movies. And actually, at the end of this Transformers, there's kind of like a mad cross thing with the Transformers and G.I. Joe at the end. So there might be another movie coming. But yeah, it hasn't been real popular up here. They tried, but it hasn't held.
But it's still, but you guys still have the toys, right? You can go to the store and they have the toys. Yeah, and I have looking for the toys on the Amazon, stuff like that when I was at Gen Con. And in Brazil we don't have anymore. Like something that was huge when I was kid. I used to play with G.I. Joes. In Brazil they have translate the name, but we used to play with it. And I bring a friend of mine who also play board games, but he has a huge collection of G.I. Joes. Like he knows all the names. He has seen all the awful cartoons, all the side movies, like anything. It has like he's really enjoying and was and that's the beauty part of that I like on board games. Even if the game is not that good, or if you don't really like the game or connect the game, if someone else is like having a lot of fun, I'm like I'm extra happy because I was playing with the guy and then he's like, oh look Scarlet, oh look this Joe, oh look this Joe, and he's like super excited about And I said, no, God damn it, man, how you can be? And no, I have this one. And it's like, oh, this one was released on that, and he know all the history. Is like super happy and playing G.I. Joe, and that makes the game for me. Like it's an okay game. I have played like once and twice, and I have just bring the game to show him, and he's like super excited about. And it's make my it make the day. Like we have played like two missions, and he's like really happy in playing. It's like, oh, this is kind of my game because I have everything and stuff like that. And that's the good part that I really enjoy on board games, when someone else like connects with the game like you will never connect. Like the guy is really happy and playing stuff like that.
Right.
Even when the games make you miserable, and the guys is like having so much fun, and
Says
I'm like,
Munchkin.
oh, yeah, like it's taking forever, because
Yeah.
sometimes you think that the game is taking forever, and you see someone else is like having a lot of fun with. Like this is kind of my game. I like to be miserable playing like this War of Mine, and I hate so much. And the guys are so happy in playing the game of becoming like, oh, you go out and now you have a depression. It's like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, that was a tough game. This War of
Yeah,
Mine.
and the guys are happy. Like one guy have like 100 plus hours playing this on computer, right? So he's like, oh, this is like almost happened like this and stuff like that. And I'm like, but you are miserable. Like the girl kill herself right now. And how could be happy? You are happy. No, because it's just like the game, just like the PC computer game. And that's make me go through the game at least once to say never again I will play this kind of game who makes me miserable. But I go through, and that's the good part of playing with different perspective of board games, right?
Yeah. So what kind of game do you find yourself playing more? Is it like more Euro games, or what do they call it now, Scott? Thematic, or I don't. They used to call it Ameritrash. I don't know what they call it now.
In Brazil is Ameritrash.
Okay.
We have the
Hybrid.
Euros in Ameritrash.
Okay.
So usually I'm playing like usually more Euro games is from the company, because I have more Euro games, but we
Accessible.
still
Okay.
have published Destinies here in Brazil. That is a very thematic game with the app. So also, but usually I'm playing very heavy Euro games, and that's how I like it. But it depends. We have played. Have you played the ISS? You know the
Vanguard?
one
That's
with
pretty
the,
cool.
Yeah, it is. I
Yeah,
tried.
Yeah.
I think I want to try to get back to that actually, because we played it wrong and had a bad day. So
Yeah, it is a little complex, or
I like
fiddly with the rules, I guess. Fiddly is not fiddly, convoluted.
Yeah,
in some
we
spots.
like go through the ship and
Yeah.
like add stuff and say, oh, we need to do this and stuff like that.
yeah, it's a neat system. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I wish it wasn't. There's always something I wish it was better, but it's fine. Just a little finicky. Like you have to
Yeah, finicky. That's the word.
little
I was looking
fiddly,
for.
I guess.
Yeah,
fiddly. Yeah. And
with
we
me, it'll
are
never get to the
playing-
table. That's the problem. It's just Jen will never go for that 2-player that long. Yeah.
We're playing also. I'm playing with my friend the other fields from the same company.
The
So
Other?
yes, other fields, right? The one with the dreams.
Oh,
From the
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we are playing this one as a campaign, but it takes so long to finish the game. Like it's almost I feel like playing a legacy game. It's almost a legacy game that you have to go through all the history to the end.
Right.
Because come on, you have to finish the game, and sometimes it's not worth finish the game. Like we have like some other kind of huge games like Tainted Grail. I have played like 3-4 times and said, "Oh no, it's too much. We would take forever." And we are still playing Gloomhaven. So it's like once a month, we go, let's go.
We
Like
started.
it's
Are you going to do Frosthaven?
no,
I don't
No?
blame you.
Gloomhaven enough?
no, because
Did you-
Pretty cool though. Yeah.
Did
Okay.
you try the
I
one-offs?
know that because it's a different point of view. You guys really enjoy this kind of game with a lot of like thematic and a lot of hours on playing the game.
Yeah. I wish it was a little smoother and faster. I mean, I want to see the stuff.
Yeah, and that's
There's enough
and
of
we make a commitment to play like Gloomhaven. You like, oh, we had to, and like once a month we play the game because of that. And I know for a fact that I will not sit down to play Frosthaven because it would
Right.
take forever.
I was in the
Come
same
on.
boat. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine.
Just got
Right,
up
Lance?
here.
I have no idea what you're talking about, obviously.
Yeah, we are talking
Oh, we're
about,
talking about games,
playing
man.
games.
Imagine that.
Games. Imagine that. Just got
Yeah.
up curious. Is there a way on BGG, like if people log on, how they play Gloomhaven? Is there a way you could say how many people actually complete it?
No,
No. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I guess that would be good.
no, we don't have that kind of granularity.
Yeah.
That's a little
But-
more geeky than I think BGG. I mean, you know, there's always going to be someone that would be doing it. They would enter the data, but
Yeah, not many.
we go for
I'm
like the
sure.
simple, more simplistic thing.
Right.
Simpler thing, not simplistic, simpler.
Yeah.
Okay. We have an app in Brazil that you can log every step of the way that every game you are playing. So you put
Cool.
how many hours you played with
Stats, more
so
stuff.
stat
Yeah.
more stats and stuff like that. So our Gloomhaven like have like a long time. Every time I watch how many hours I have spent playing the game, I said, come on, I'm not even closer to finish the game. And of course, you sometimes win, sometimes you lose. And when you lose, you have to redo all over again.
What
So
game
you
is
have-
this?
Gloomhaven.
Hmm.
Did you play it?
I played it a little bit a long time ago, and it didn't grab me.
That's the beauty part of Lance. He's like, screw it, it's not for me. And like, I will never touch it again. And I cannot do it. I need
You
to
find that
finish.
beautiful, man?
I
don't know if that's the word I would choose.
I have a finite amount of time above ground. I'm not going to spend it doing things I don't like.
No, he'll
Yeah.
just bitch about things you don't like.
But life is doing the part of life is doing something that you don't like.
Yeah.
What?
You have to finish
Yeah.
when you start.
Not-
That's
not
something
in my
that my
spare
father
time.
always talked to me. Yeah.
My spare time, I mean, my free time to myself. I'm not. No way. No way on
That's,
earth.
you don't wanna do what you don't like?
That sounds so bad in Portuguese, but let's
It's an American thing.
Matt Paquette, what are you doing in the chat? Get in here. We need to talk.
Yeah.
Check in.
Fabian, so the first language is Portuguese in Brazil, correct?
Delta number
Yes.
3.
So how are the majority of the games in Portuguese, like, or are other like Spanish games, or what's the
No,
majority?
yes, in Portuguese. And we have a legislation that says that the game should
They
have
have to
at
be in?
least a rule book in Portuguese. So sometimes when we bring English board games, we have to at least translate all the information they put on the site, all the back box and stuff like that information in Portuguese, and have at least the PDF file for the game. So
Oh, just
in
a
Portuguese.
PDF, not even a print.
Yeah, no. Most of the time, no. So of course, some guys start complaining about that we don't have the printed version of the rule, but we like I bring a lot of heavy, expensive games to add like a printing plate for Portuguese will become even expensive.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like, screw it. complaining about, don't buy the game because it will be too expensive to bring like a game. The final light is like a month of salary here in Brazil. The minimum wage and salary, you work a minimum wage on 1 month to buy one game.
Yeah, I don't think board games are worth that much. And I'm serious. I love them at all, but not a month's salary. That's
Yeah, and
Apparently, you don't own Kingdom Death.
I never
All the
will. I
expansions.
just there's a price point in my head that I will not go above, and that is way above that price point.
Is it $1?
No, it's depending on the game. Most are about 60, 125 is probably the top. I won't go much above that. It's really got to wow me if it does. Yeah.
Nah, it depends on the game.
Yeah, but for the most part, no, I won't spend that much. I'm not into the pretty plastic. I don't need all the plastic, minis everywhere. It's just a space issue for me.
The Feld seed collection. I was at the release at Essen last year, and Feld was there, and I like, oh, Feld's there, and I said to the guy from the Queen Games, I said, oh, I want everything. It's like, what do you mean everything? I said, everything from the deluxe version, everything. And they spare me a cart so I can put all the boxes and go to Feld's. So he signed all the boxes, and I have to take a cab to the hotel room because I cannot be like huge boxes with deluxe version with everything else and metal coins and stuff like that. Because of course, if we're gonna spend big. And I have to take a cab to go to the hotel room to put everything there and come back to the fair. Because I was there, Feldy was there, and I was like, oh, I need this. And in Brazil, this is priceless. Like the guy once a guy said, oh, do you want to sell the seed collection that the Fel signed it, the deluxe version? I said, it's impossible. You're gonna like give me a car for it. Because I will not sell like cheap. I will not sell the same, even the same price that I paid for. Because I have to take everything and I have to put everything together and bring to Brazil without damage the box. Because come on, if the box is damaged, I need a new game, right, Lance? If you say that,
you know nothing about that, Scott, right?
Yeah, he knows
international shipping. Yeah.
Because if the box is damaged, you need to give a new game. Doesn't matter. The box is only the package. So I bring everything.
I got a broken box from Amazon the other day.
The game
they're shipping games now in these plastic wrapper, no box.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? I mean,
I noticed that.
I mean, I guess I could file a complaint, but I'm like, I don't want to do it. It's just pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But it was a brand new game.
That sucks.
The box just mashed.
Yeah, and I still bring the game from Germany, and all the seed collection was intact. So I said, no, probably gonna give me a car or something like that because I will not sell it. Not everything deluxe version, deluxeified with everything else on top, and Felt signed everything. And said, no, that's like not gonna happen. You're gonna have to bring a lot of money. So wait for it. And eventually, if come to Brazil and you buy some from someone else, because I will not sell it. It would be too expensive.
It's just good to have somebody with passion on board games on here again, unlike you.
Yeah, but you have guys that are on the same page.
No, I think we're all. Well, me and Scott we'll play pretty much anything, but Lance is curmudgeon. Yeah.
But just see the Lorcana, how things can get crazy.
I have no interest in that game at all. I see the craze for it. I understand it, but I have no interest.
Some guys wait 10 p.m. and sleep on the floor to take the game.
Do you guys think Lorcana will be a thing next year?
No.
You don't think so?
I think it'll die. Nah.
I mean, this is a strong IP.
What do you think,
Disney.
Chris?
That doesn't mean Disney people.
We should
know
wager. We
Disney.
should have a wager. I think it will
Disney-
be. I think it will be.
Disney people know the
Well,
thing.
what's a
They-
thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. What's a thing? I guess we have to define a thing.
Did we go
I
through
mean,
that?
remember we did one of these and about what was
The
that?
Marvel
Tuesday?
dice game.
Yeah, we
and
did it about the Marvel dice game. We did it about that. What
Oh
was
yeah,
that?
we were.
that other card game.
Oh,
What
yeah,
was
well,
the card
well,
game that nobody plays anymore?
Keyforge.
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 Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
guess
don't think it
technically
will.
people still play, Keyforge, but I mean, it's yeah. I mean,
In Brazil, you can buy like a full box of everything for Keyforge for like almost nothing here.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't even cost what they have to spend it to print it, the cards. So that's the thing. But I think that Lorcana would be a little different. If, and that's the part, because we have like a new Marvel movie, like, okay, we'll have, I don't know, new Captain America, and on the back there they put like big poster of Lorcana. That's the thing. They can like make a lot of marketing and stuff like that, so they can put Lorcana, and like the kids are the hero are walking through a park on the downside of the movie, and some kids are playing Lorcana at the table, and the camera films the guy and like a little bit of Lorcana and stuff like that. So they can make like things going, but it depends on the arrangement, right? For
Yeah.
Lorcana.
Yeah.
Because the other game from they're also huge here in Brazil. I had some miniatures like the Disney game that you play on the video game, that you have the tableau and you put the miniatures and the miniatures start to play the game, and you have
Don't know what
like
this
Toy
is.
Stories. I have the miniatures right there,
Yeah.
and only Disney Infinite. I think that.
Oh, okay.
that is. And we
Look
have
at
the
that.
other game also that my sons love is the same thing. Like you have the platform and you put the hero there and the hero goes to the game, and the Disney just stopped it because it's not making that much money.
Yeah.
They are not losing money. They are not making that much money that they think they will make it.
Right.
But it's only a Disney product. Lorcana is a little different because it's a license from Disney. But imagine that, I don't know, a new series from Marvel or whatever in Disney, and they put some like side Lorcana stuff, and that can make the game going indefinitely, because you have Disney making movies and make stuff like that.
Yeah, I can
So-
see that, but I don't think it'll catch. I think it's too complicated for the average Disney fan. And there's not that many Disney gamers. And like you said, if it doesn't make what they expect, they're just going to cut it. I don't think unless it catches on like Villainous did. I don't think it will though. These card games, we've been through a ton of them. The LCGs and all living card game and the other ones, they're just tough to keep around and get going.
You think we're gonna have the same ones like Magic and Pokemon, and that's it?
Like I said, yeah, they're just unless none of them really caught on like Magic or Pokemon. It's been decades. They've tried. Fantasy Flight tried. Keyforge tried. Other companies have tried. Pathfinder, I think, had one out there at one point. They have their little group and then they just die off after a year or two. Yeah.
So you would not be a thing next year.
I don't think it will be. I could be wrong. But I
What do
don't
you
think it will
Lex?
be.
Will be a thing next year?
Lance isn't
Lance
paying
isn't.
attention to you.
Yeah, he's not alive.
Yeah, he
He's
does
reading
it. He
something.
does that all the time.
Surfing the
Yeah,
web.
Yeah. Even the cats,
ask the cat.
Yeah.
He has a cat. The cat should
What do you
answer.
think, Scott?
What
Yeah,
was the question?
Arcana or will be
Lorcana
around.
will
Yeah.
be a thing.
Yeah, I think it will.
Do you?
I think so.
It was-
How
I mean,
how the
uh,
step the things are going on, like on BGG on the Lorcana? The guys are keep
I don't
adding.
know if BGG is really like a place to.
It's number 2 on the hotness. I saw it today.
Oh,
Why
is
is
it?
that
I
other
mean,
game
it's getting-
still at number 1? That
I don't know. People love it. People love looking at a train wreck. They can't
Yeah.
look away. I don't know.
I think it was number 2. Yeah, right below
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
one.
mean, there's some stuff on Lorcana, but I mean, it's not. Yeah, there's some forum actions and stuff. So
Is it actually out or is it still?
Yeah.
Was,
oh yeah,
it
it's
is?
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
You
I
have
thought there was
played it?
like problems with.
I've not played it. Yeah, I've not played it. I want to try it though.
I thought
Yeah.
people had problems getting a copy of it, or you needed 2 copies to play it right or something.
Yeah, I think they were giving away starter decks at Gen Con, but
Yeah.
you need 2 starter decks to play.
yeah.
That's how they get you.
So we just did the BGG show. I was not part of that, but they were talking about the Lorcana press event. I guess they had a party, and they were giving out decks, and then they were doing this fun thing where you had to trade. So if you traded for every type of card, you could check them off, and you would get a prize. And I think Lincoln and Nikki spent the night doing that, and they basically, I think they got the prizes or something. And then they were doing photos where you could take a picture of you in a Lorcana card, which was kind of fun. I feel like that was a cool idea. But yeah, giving out one deck is sort of like, what are you gonna do with one deck? What are you
Yeah.
just look at it?
Yeah.
Stare at the cards.
Yeah,
I
stare
did
at
see
the
that
card.
there were people that like. I mean,
But
it was
I think the cards look amazing. They look great.
I found it funny that like there were people that like weren't at Gen Con posting on social media. It's like, if somebody's at Lorcana, if they can get me one of the Mickey Mouse Gen Con cards or whatever, please would you grab one for me? And people were like, these things are being sold for like $1,000 online. I mean, maybe if somebody's really cool and wants to give you one, great, but you probably shouldn't be like, could you possibly wait in line for several hours and get this card and then give it to me for nothing? You know, just
Yeah,
like-
I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, who knows? Might be.
You have to buy
If you're
at
gonna
the
go,
time.
yeah, if you're gonna, I don't know, it's weird, right? Because if you're gonna wait in that long line, I mean, if you're gonna go buy stuff and you get an extra card, maybe. But
So,
no,
I mean-
they weren't giving out multiples, right? I don't know.
here's my
Some people don't care about promos though, so they would just give it.
gut.
Like Lincoln gives away almost all the promos. If he doesn't need it and he's got it, he'll give it to you.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Here's my gut. So
You get
like
enough,
right now,
yeah.
there's like what? There's basically three card games that people play, and that's Pokemon, and let's be fair, Pokemon is most. I mean, in my opinion, Pokemon is more collected than it is actually played.
Probably so.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Magic obviously is the granddaddy,
Yeah.
and Yu-Gi-Oh is the other one.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right. And
That's still
Yu-Gi-Oh
around?
has Yu-Gi-Oh is still around, and it has a very strong core group of people that are willing to play it. Now I can remember like 10 years ago, L5R was still big. But that doesn't play. I don't think that's even current anymore. I remember, in my opinion, the old like the when Fantasy Flight did the living card game stuff, and
Yeah.
they did the Call of Cthulhu one was really good.
I've got all the Call of Cthulhu.
Do you?
I have a briefcase filled. I mean, it's every card. It's like
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It
Call of
really
Cthulhu.
is it really is a fun.
it was a good game. I
to
wish it
play.
wasn't competitive though. I mean, I like the cooperative one, obviously, but I
So-
wish there was a co-op version of that game. That would be neat.
I'm still kind of sad because I collected all the living card. I bought one pack of everything when it was the living card game stuff, and I would play that just for fun with my
Yeah.
friends, competitively. And then somebody offered me, like, I don't know, it was probably 50 cents on the dollar for all of it, and I was like, yeah, you can have it. And I
Sure.
sold it. Man, which it doesn't really stick in my craw too much, but I mean, every once in a while, I think, I shouldn't have sold it. No. So anyway, so getting back to the whole point, Lorcana, it'll die in the vine. I mean, it just will. I mean, it's just because it's one of those things where it's
Yeah.
like, the real people
Matthew?
that play. I mean, it'll still be sold. Like Keyforge is still being sold now, right? People are still buying it.
Oh, it's taken over by Christian Peterson's company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
They're
it's
still making stuff.
it's still being made.
wanna
There's
try that a
still-
lot.
There's still some people that'll play it, but
Yeah.
and Lorcana will be like that. There'll be people out there that play it and that will buy it and do whatever. But it's just like Pokemon has a stranglehold on the collectors. Yu-Gi-Oh has its small little group, and Yu-Gi-Oh will be gone at some point. I don't know when, but it'll be gone. If it isn't
Around for a while though.
It has been. It has been. But Magic is just it is as inevitable as the tides, as they say. You cannot defeat Magic. I mean, if anything, I could see Magic the Gathering like absorbing Lorcana and then making a
like a
Disney Magic the
Disney Magic.
Gathering.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that would be an awesome.
that's
I
printing
mean,
money there.
Dude, the Lord of the Rings set is amazing. It's really great.
The first one.
Gameplay, artwork.
Which
like,
one?
Well,
what
the most
about it?
recent one. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it's just got the cards are great. They're fun. All the characters are there.
They have announced more stuff outside Magic, like
Yeah,
with
I bet there'll be more crossovers for sure.
yeah, they have already. Like it's like ridiculous. They will sell so many cards for this because they are just taking Magic and go to like other PI, right? So why not? The
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings went so well with some
I
Like,
played it for a
really-
good many hours.
yeah.
Does it feel thematic?
100%.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you make a Hobbit deck, you're playing like you're like eating food and like
Okay.
dancing and all that. The Hobbit deck is super thematic. The Evil deck is super. The Nazgul deck is amazing.
Here's the
powerful,
big question,
dark.
Scott. Which of the Lord of the Rings games have you played that is the most thematic? Is it this?
Well, the Lord of the Rings card game is pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Like that one's super.
I would say
thematic.
that's the most thematic
Okay.
because
The
that
new
is
one or the old one? Because the new one's like got the app,
basically
right?
that's a reprint though.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, the only one I know is the LCG, which
Okay.
is they're basically just reprinting it. It's not really anything different.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I love that one.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, what'd you think of Deadlines? Saw you played it.
It's great.
I thought you
Really
might
fun.
like it.
Yeah, we had a good time with it. It's
I got-
challenging.
I got another one for you if you haven't played it. Have you tried Number Drop from AEG yet? It's part of the big game night bag.
Number drop? No.
It is roll and write Tetris, and we loved it. Like I think it's going to be a regular filler weight game for us, like once every few months type of thing. It pretty much is just you roll these numbers, and then you roll number dice, then you roll a shape dice. Actually, I got the score pad. Let me grab the roll and write thing. It'll be easier to explain.
Okay.
What's going on, Matt?
Hey, Matthew.
Not much.
So Forrest, Matt, this is Fabio. Fabio lives in Brazil.
Hey, Fabio.
Matt lives in Canada.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
We're all-
Really international.
We
Wait,
didn't
look
get
at that.
Barry on here. Holy
We need a
guacamole.
Central
We
America.
got all of
The
North
whole
America.
hemisphere.
Yeah, we need some
I
Central
was-
America.
I was just
And-
talking to somebody in Brazil today.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Where are you?
truly interactive.
Was it Fabian?
No,
were-
it was the dudes at Loot Studios.
Lewd?
Loot Studios. They're
I've heard it both ways.
they're really great SVG not SVG STL subscription box for minis and stuff.
What's
Oh,
STL?
okay.
It's 3D printer files.
Oh, okay.
So you can print your own minis and stuff. And they're
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful. I subscribed for a while.
Those things are pretty big on Kickstarter too. I see a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
It's a big market.
Yeah.
So,
Matt-
this you see this rolling right?
No.
So
Yeah. Shut
pretty
up.
much you roll four dice. They're gonna have numbers on them, right? And then you also roll a shape die, which will give you a Tetris shape. So essentially, you have to fit those numbers into that specific shape, and then you have to send it down straight down your Tetris board. And you get points if you complete entire rows, just like regular Tetris. You get points for making consecutive numbers, so like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the same number. So like 3, 3,
Those
3.
would be consecutive numbers. Yes.
You
Well,
son of a bitch.
you get what I'm
So
saying.
what do the dice look
Some-ish.
like? I mean, is that just a notepad?
Yeah, I'll give you a completed one. I'll show you that.
Well, what are the I mean,
What-
are the dice real? Like really, just
What was the question?
I'm just wondering, like how what do the dice look like? Are they custom? Or are they?
Oh yeah, they're really nice. They're big
I mean, they
pink
better be.
custom
'Cause,
dice.
I mean, the game. I mean, you know, the pad doesn't look that great.
The big pink
Too bad they
custom
didn't have
dice.
any like Tetris crack. It's Tetris, or is it called? It's got Tetris themed.
No, it's
Not.
number
It's not
drop.
got the Tetris.
It-
Okay.
no,
yeah.
it feels
It's
like a
generic.
Tetris game. Like if
Yeah, it's
Tetris
a
made
generic.
this game, people would
Yeah, yeah.
rave
If
about
it was a
this game.
Tetris branded, it would be
So,
cool.
so Forrest, what is the game? Is dice and a pad of paper?
So you roll the dice, and then you have to put the shapes into your Tetris grid. So you're making a Tetris grid every single turn. But where there's player interaction is when you finally do complete, 3 in a row and three of the same next to each other, you get to drop a block on everybody else, like an actual Tetris. If they're not prepared for it, if they haven't also circled it, then a block gets dropped on them, and that can really screw them up because they're trying to do Tetrisy things like complete the lines and the numbers. And I really enjoyed this one.
Cool.
Like great
Yeah,
filler weight
I'll-
game.
I'll get it.
We know.
Well, let me see the dice.
Number drop.
Let me see the dice.
Oh yeah, we grab them.
So Matt, Fabian was asking, do you think this Disney Lorcana will be around?
Oh fuck. I don't know.
Nah.
I hate TCG or whatever CG.
Like to
Yeah.
Yeah, here they are.
I couldn't be bothered with that shit, man. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, it's Disney. It'll be around in some way, shape, or form. I bet you they're gonna have their
it?
attractors for a long time to come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the dice decides what shape you're going to make, and then the numbers come up. And then here's the block. There's this cool little player area in the middle. These are the well, I'm just going to pick them up. They're like these little tile ones. So this would be drop A. So if you're not ready for drop A, you're going to drop that shape, and it's going to be X's, and those X's will screw you up because you wanted to put numbers there to get the 3 in a row.
Right.
Yeah, it's got some nice components. It's
Alright.
not. I think they're.
I mean, does
nicer
it
than
look
they need to be.
luxurious?
It's a small box game. I mean, it's the
Yeah,
same
sure.
size as Point Salad. It's
Is
in
it
that
20
line.
bucks? Probably like $20 or something.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's
No,
one
I'll
that I
play
think
it.
a lot of people might like it. We were, and one of the guys, and Lance, one of the guys, Ronnie, the
20
guy who
bucks is
actually
20
didn't
bucks.
like Arcana Rising, doesn't like roll and write games either, and he raved. He said he really, really liked it. So I feel like there can be
Ooh.
like the other way around, but
Hmm.
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 that's why I like playing abstract strategy games, because when I find one I really, really like, I could be like, I don't like these style games, but damn it, this one's great. And I feel like that, like when I hear a reviewer say that, like that means something.
Really? Why don't you
Yeah.
like abstract strategy games, Forrest?
I don't particularly. I don't know why. I know in particular when you get to 3 and 4 players, I really
they
don't
don't-
like how crazy they get.
Yeah.
And just for 2-player games, I think I just a little bit of the theme queen. I'd much rather have
Oh,
some
okay.
sort of theme attached to it.
I'm
You just
kind
call
of
it
saying.
being a theme.
I never
queen?
heard that before.
You-
Theme queen.
You never heard of Theme Queen?
No, I never heard that before.
Oh.
Huh.
I'm kind of with you there as far as like once I get playing with an abstract game, I'm cool with it. I actually enjoy them, but the theme just doesn't draw me to them usually.
I don't think I've heard that slang before either. I think they just made that up.
Mhm.
What do you think of that?
I may have heard it for something else, but
It doesn't sound
I've
offensive.
heard
Wait,
it.
it doesn't sound offensive, does it?
It could no, it
Yeah.
could,
No more than normal.
No,
Stream queen,
Oh.
theme queen.
yeah.
Like a drama queen, but a theme queen for board
Yeah.
games.
Play any games,
Sure.
Matt?
D&D tonight.
D&T? Okay.
D&D?
Yeah. Just
Are you
about
playing
killed
Baldur's
somebody.
Gate?
I have a funny story about that. So we worked on Divinity board game, right?
Yeah.
So I got a key from my client
Yeah.
for Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
which was great because $80. And I started playing it. I'm like, oh well, I'm like, oh, there's a little Apple there. I can install it on my Mac. Awesome. And when I installed it, it said, it auto detected the settings. It said you can play it ultra. I'm like, sweet. So I'm playing it, and And then after about half an hour, it would just like totally bog down. Like, what the fuck? Like it happened to be during a fight or something like that. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll close it and I'll do something else. And then the next day I started playing again and it did the same thing. I couldn't understand why. And then I realized, and then my computer just shut off.
Oh.
What the fuck?
What?
My dock,
Virus?
my
Oh,
my
that's right.
dock
No, I remember
is
that.
no longer charging my laptop.
Oh, okay.
So I need a new dock.
Wait, is
Well,
it?
that sucks.
Wasn't this? Didn't you say didn't it just burn out? Or this was?
Oh, this was the one that my network thing. Yeah, no, that
yeah,
was
oh,
a
the
whole
network
different
thing was a
thing.
different problem.
But
Okay.
you know what? Now that I say that, it might not actually be a different problem. But anyway, that was problem number one. Problem number two was I'm playing on my Mac and I got to a part where it's like, we haven't made this part of the game yet. I'm like, oh, I thought it was out already. Oh well, and it said early access edition on my copy. I'm like,
Oh, they didn't give you the full version.
well, they did, but they give me a key for the full version, but it's not out for the Mac yet.
Oh, okay. So you're just playing the beta.
And I mentioned this to I'm like, hey, Kieran, I tried to put fairy fire on somebody who turned invisible and they didn't stay fairy fired. And he's like, oh, they should have. I'm
To
like,
shut
"Well,
up, nerd.
they didn't." And he's like, oh, it must be a bug. And I'm like, oh, and another thing. And I asked him about the early access. He's like, oh, you're playing on a Mac? Oh, yeah. And I have some bad news for you. The 45 hours you put in on it.
You're not getting better.
Wait.
No, I have to play it
How
all
far
over
does it
again.
go? How far does it go?
What's
Do you
that?
do you get out of the first area on the Mac version?
It was quite expansive.
Do you get to the Underdark?
Hey, don't,
I,
spoilers.
I'm level.
It's in the menu. The menu. The game goes from overworld to the Underdark.
So I'm almost level 5.
Spoilers.
In the menu.
It's in the menu, Lance.
I'm
What-
almost
is it-
level 5.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a lot of playing.
Oh, it was a lot of playing. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
more than I should have, but
I think you're beyond me actually.
it was fun. Did
I
you?
got
Like,
stuck,
I
I'm stuck in a place that I just like. I'll go back there at some point. But
there's a couple of battles that I was like, what the fuck do I do? And I got my ass whooped a bunch.
did
of
you get
times.
the ogre horn?
Spoilers.
The ogre horn. I'm not. That's all I'm gonna say. The ogre horn. You didn't.
I
get
gotta
it.
say, this game is NSFW.
Yes, it is. Have you? Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm not
Yes, I have.
Say it all, Scott.
I-
Spoil it
you don't
all
even
for
need to.
Lance.
You don't need to
Well,
go further.
You can
have.
basically be romantic with every single character in your party.
Oh no, but there's this other thing I stumbled upon. It was just like, whoa.
Yeah. The whoa,
Yeah.
the door
it was-
behind the barn.
Yeah.
In the
Don't go
barn.
behind the
The
barn,
barn, yeah,
Lance.
it's
Don't go
me.
behind the barn.
Mhm.
So-
Don't go into the barn.
Anybody watch Ahsoka last night?
Yeah, me and Chen actually did today.
I enjoyed it.
Spoilers.
I'm
Is
not
it good?
gonna say anything more.
I heard it's pretty Star Warsy. Star Wars.
Ahsoka was in it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
So if
pretty
you
Star
watch-
Warsy Star Wars for Star Wars stuff.
The only thing I'll say is if you
Yeah.
watch Rebels and you liked Rebels,
I did not.
you'll fucking love this.
I did not see Rebels either.
And Rebels is fantastic. I mean, it's probably
Yeah.
my favorite Star Wars series, probably.
That's what Lincoln says too.
Is it? so
Um,
far-
I need to
Order.
watch it, I guess. Is there a way? Is there a short, like 5 episodes I need to watch them? I could, because
You
I'm
gotta
sure it's
wait,
like
Scott.
if you watch
It-
5 key episodes, you'll be like fine.
You gotta
You
wait,
want
Scott.
the
lazy
Only the first
version.
2 came out. Only the first 2 came out. You gotta wait.
no, Disney put out
Rebels.
watch
Rebels.
these 10 episodes
Yeah,
to get
Yeah,
a
I just
different
want-
series.
I'll just catch the. Yeah.
Oh, the other show. Okay.
No,
like
I-
Clone
yeah.
Wars and
yeah,
Rebels.
Clone Wars and
Yeah.
Rebels. Yeah.
Yeah. And you also
Yeah.
want to watch episode 1 and episode 5 of Tales of the Jedi.
Oh my God.
They're everything's interconnected.
It's a lot of
So they
backstory.
keep like giving names from other guys from the series.
Yeah, I did
So-
notice a lot of names being
So you
dropped.
can full
Yeah.
understand. You need to watch it.
It was good. It was good.
I mean,
enjoyed
I
it.
like to know the
really liked,
backstory. I like the character, although
Yeah.
she's pretty annoying in Clone Wars. I've only watched the first season of Clone Wars.
yeah, but she's really good in Rebels.
But she gets good. Yeah. Or whatever.
Oh, she's really good in season 7 of Clone Wars too. But no, I liked Hera. Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays Hera,
Cool.
And
Is that a bad person or a good person?
she's a good person. She's a general for the New Republic.
So Matt, is this based on a book or the series? Do you know? Roughly,
I don't
is it?
know. Well, it was written by Dave Filoni, so
Maybe not.
Probably not a book.
That
But-
nerd.
I'm curious what they're going to do with the bad Jedi.
That
the Sith.
Yeah, because he died after they finished filming the season.
Ray Stevenson.
Ray-
Yeah,
Ray
yeah, yeah.
Stevenson. Yeah, I'm curious what they're going to do with the
Oh, yeah,
character.
his character is pretty badass too.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
it's amazing how you I know the guy's work, but when he come the first part when he just get off the ship and I can even recognize him like it's
Yeah.
a new person, and it was amazing when
Yeah,
he
it was.
presented
Yeah.
He's
himself.
super thick
He
too.
was
It's like-
very
Yeah.
very
he was
old
like-
school. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he
Yeah.
was very old school Jedi. It's not
Yeah.
the pre Jedi pre Sith ones. He was
Like,
like
and the dude is like a thick guy too. So he's
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
like I've never usually you see Jedi's and they're like pretty slight people.
Yeah.
no, yeah.
This guy was like his chest, he's like barrel chested and yeah, it was good. It was good.
I like him as an
when
actor.
he was side to side with the forget the character he rescued, right?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
you see the women, and he's like 3 times of the size
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
girl.
Oh,
It's like,
and
oh, he's huge.
The actress that plays her, apparently she's like this amazing Filipino martial artist that her dad and Bruce Lee were like best friends.
Oh, really?
She called him Uncle Bruce and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I was watching like interviews
They
with
call
her.
me Bruce.
Yeah,
Uncle Bruce.
but no, it's good.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that Ray Steven. I first seen him in the HBO series Rome. He was a pretty good actor. It's a shame he died. Yeah, but I'm just curious what happened with that character. Like, I know nothing about. Like, after the first 6 movies, I'm lost.
He was clever.
Yeah.
After what happened with which character?
I forget the guy's name. Ray
The
Stevenson's
Ray,
character.
Ray.
Darth Maul.
No, it's not Darth
Ba-
Maul.
Bailey.
Oh, not that one.
Bailey.
It's
Is it
yeah, it's a
Balin?
new character.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
Sorry. I
It's
thought
a
it was
new
Darth-
guy.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was like in the backstory
It's an
somewhere.
FNG. The fucking new guy.
Fucking new guy. I was like FNG. I was like,
Gee.
That's from
What?
Forrest Gump. When Lieutenant.
Oh yeah, Lieutenant
Two
Dan.
FNGs.
Yeah.
You fucking new
Yeah.
guys.
That's a movie I hadn't heard about in a while.
that
So I listened to this trivia.
I watched
podcast.
Willy Wonka the other night.
Did
Which
you?
one?
The good one.
They're remaking
Gene
this
Wilder
guy.
one?
Gene Wilder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
The original.
Right.
The good one.
Yeah, the good one.
Jen watches that about once a year.
Is this where I make my
I-
joke is the best thing they never remade it? No, they never. Yeah.
They're gonna not remake it
I
again.
mean, I'm interested in the new one. I'm curious to see what they
the
will
guy from Dune. Yeah. Yeah,
Well, it's
we'll
just
see.
like, I mean, what are you? I don't understand. I mean,
Stop, help, police.
yeah, I know. No, stop. Don't go.
Help, police, help, police.
Mhm.
Oh, I have my grievance.
What's your
Yeah.
grievance, Lance?
Right, I was waiting for the people to be here. So, this was a grievance
Waiting for
where
an
I,
audience.
no, well, I wasn't gonna tell Barry, but I was waiting for you, and then Fabio showed up, and we've been talking and whatever. Anyway, so we bought a car for my daughter.
Mhm.
You know, it's one of those
Uh-oh.
things. Where no, so like,
Oh,
one of those
is this
things-
not related to that?
to
Let him
what?
tell the story,
Is the
Scott.
grievance related to the car?
Well,
I'm
kind
just
of.
saying, uh-oh,
Yeah,
in
So
anticipation.
it's one of those crazy things where it's like, it's weird. Like you go on Facebook Marketplace, and there's people. It's like, oh, they post a couple pictures of their car, and they say, we're
Yeah.
gonna get rid of this. Is what we want, whatever. And then and a lot of them say, we'll not respond to, because like the standard thing is this still available if on Facebook Marketplace? And
Yeah, that's the
a lot
button
of
you
them-
push when it's automatically filled in, right?
Yeah, and that's the one. And so a lot of people say, a lot of people say something along the lines of, will not respond to that statement. Like they just don't want
But why?
bots. Because it's
Oh,
bots.
bots.
You know, so I may get a point to like, you know, hey, I live relatively close to you. I would love time to come over and test drive the car when, you know, so on and so forth kind of thing. And then like But it's stunning. These people just don't respond. It's like they want to sell a car, but they don't want to like respond to you. And admittedly, whatever, the phone's not in your hand all day long, whatever. So we had a lot of starts and stops trying to make this happen. And so I finally messaged this guy who actually like lives close to where my lake cabin is. And he said, and he actually got back right away. He's like, yep, the car runs good, this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, hey, and we're kind of going back and forth a little bit. And I said, if you'd prefer, I said, here's my phone number. If you want to give me a call and we can arrange a time, that'd be good. And I was like, me and my family and we were heading out of town for a few days, just on like a last end of the summer family trip kind of thing. And we did. And I said, hey, if you sell the car, whatever. But, I got back. He hadn't sold the car. He was totally like, yeah, no, here it is. This is what we have and whatever. And so we went up, my wife and I, we drove out. We drove the car. He wanted X. I offered him Y. We agreed on Z. Bought the car, drove it back. He filled out the title information, everything like that. Really nice guy, super cool dude. We kind of talked a little bit. He, the inevitable question, what do you do for a living? I told him. He was really intrigued. He said, hey, write down the name of your company. I got a buddy who plays a lot of board games. It'd be cool if he knew. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then
as a Kickstarter backer, and he's wondering where his games were.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious if it was. But no, so I so we get back. I go over to the DMV, and I walk up, and I'm like, "Hey, I got a new title. I need to pay the sales tax on the car. I need to go through the process to get the title transferred to me." And they're like, "Cool." The way the DMV and where I live goes, they give you a ticket. You go and you sit down in this big room with all these chairs, and it's like it's in this old mall that has like 95% of the mall is vacant, and they're actually planning on tearing the whole thing down. And the two last things that are in the mall are City Hall, this coffee shop for seniors, a weird jewelry store that I've never seen anybody in ever, and the DMV. And so I went and I sat down after a few, like for about 20 minutes, my number got called. I go up, here's my title, whatever. Lady comes back and says, the person you bought it from filled it out wrong. And I was like, oh, what'd they do? And they're like, well, they weren't supposed to sign this thing. You were supposed to sign it here. So like the way it's filled out right now, basically the husband is selling the car to his wife. She signed the wrong spot. And I was like, so what do I do? And she like prints off this form, and she says, and she gives me very explicit instructions. She says, take this form. You need his wife to sign it here and date it here. And down here, she needs to print her name and sign it here, and he needs to print his name and sign it here. And she like highlighted the sections, and she was very clear with me. I said, well, that sucks, but oh well, we'll take care of it. And so I called the guy and I was like, hey, this is what happened. He's like, oh, I feel so bad. And I was like, and he's like, hey, I actually work in Fargo, and I'll just come in and do it. I said, I said, your wife's got to sign it, so. And he's like, oh, that sucks. And I was like, well, I'm going down to the lake anyway this weekend. I'll be down there. I'll come to your house. We'll fill it out. So I did. Went, filled it out. Done. She almost signed the piece of paper that they gave me in the wrong spot. I stopped her. No. I was like, you gotta do it here, She signed it all perfect. Great. Fine. So I get home. And on Tuesday, I was like, on Monday, I was going to go to the DMV. I didn't have time. Tuesday, I was like, well, I'll give myself an hour to do this. So yesterday, I go to the DMV. I get there. I actually had to renew my driver's license as well. So I was lucky enough that like that was an option as well. So I went there and they renewed that, got that taken care of. And then I was like, okay. So, and they were like, well, yeah. And then I was with the person that was handling my driver's license. I was like, can you do this for me? And they're like, no, you got to go back and wait in line again to get another ticket with another number on it. and go. I was like, well, that's stupid. But I mean, whatever. It's fine. So I go and I get another ticket and I go wait in line and I walk up and I will say right now that Christine was a very nice woman. And like she was an older woman. She was, and well, first I went to one person and they were like, I said, this is the form I got. They had to refill this out. This is the title. I was here. They get this now. And they're like, I don't know how to do this, but hold on. I'll get Christine to help you. And so then they get Christine and Christine looks like she's been working at the DMV, like from the moment she got out of high school and 40 years later. Right. So she's like, okay, here, hold on. I'll take a look at this. And then she's looking at it and she's looking at the two things. She's looking at this paper. She's got this one. She's got this. And she's looking at it. And it's just like, and I was thinking, okay, this won't take long at all. Let me pay you the sales tax and the thing and I'll get out of your hair. And she's sitting there and she just says like the thing where like the alarm goes off in the back of my head. And she says, give me a second. And she gets up and she wanders off. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. This sucks. And then she comes back after like 5 minutes and I see she went to this like weird office in the back and she's talking to somebody and the person's looking at the form and they're looking at this thing and then they're kind of pointing at me and then they're looking at it. And then she comes walking back to me and she just has this look of like not happy. She's like, and I was like, what? And she is like, so we need his wife to sign the form, like the original title, like, and she had drawn this little X on the thing because I saw her do that too. She had a pen and she had this, she made this little circle and she's like, she needs to sign it here as well. And I was just like, you're kidding me. And she's like, no, I'm so sorry. And I was like, you realize that's like an hour and a half of driving. And she's like, well, she's like, Detroit Lakes where they live, that's only 45 minutes away. And I was like, yeah, there
and back again.
and back.
Yeah, it's 2 ways.
And she's like, well, and then she said, and I was just like, I was just starting to see red. And then she said, well, she's the one who signed the original form wrong. And I was like, but I came here and you guys told me exactly what I had to do. And you failed to tell me that I also had to do this. And she's just like, I'm really sorry. And I was like, and I felt myself just like, I was like, getting ready to like, fuck this, good bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, but I realized that's when the guy comes out with the taser. And just like
arrested at the
I'd love to see
you
that
on the news.
I would love to see that. They heard
Local man has a mental breakdown at the DMV.
I would love to see that.
Local idiot tased by cops.
Minnesota man.
Yeah, Minnesota man tased by cops after
all
we could hear was, you gave me the wrong instructions.
Just watch you drop to the ground.
And then and
was this
so,
a problem? Like it's just like it doesn't make any sense.
And she kept on apologizing, and finally I just said,
how do you not just get the title in your name?
And I just said,
Bureaucratic
you know what? I said,
bullshit.
if you apologizing 10 more times would magically make that signature show up on there, I'd ask you to do it. But other than that, there's really nothing you can do. So I guess I'm gonna find a time. And she's like, well, the good thing is you have 30 days from the day that you bought it.
I guess you have a deadline now.
Yeah.
I was like, I know. I was just so yeah.
I mean, I guess you could courier it, maybe.
Well, no, and I was just sitting there, and it's just like, part of me, this evil goblin in the back of my head said, just go to your car and fake the signature. They won't know.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But no, I'd be the one there like, well, we're going to give them a call to make sure they sign it. You stay right there, sir.
No, in their mind, they signed it, right? I mean, they signed 92
They'll never
things,
check on that. Yeah.
No.
It's amazing how
So you haven't
you
done it yet?
guys have so much technology and some stuff
still paper.
like is for because in Brazil, like we make a online form, and after online form, you go to the DMV. They take a look at the car, see everything is as supposed to be. It's no stolen parts, and they say, "Oh, that's it. Here's your document on your name," and that's it.
It's like the
So-
famous quote: "The expanding bureaucracy, bureaucracy needs to expand to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy."
Yeah.
I
You know,
went.
it's just
I'll be right back.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, then we'll play initials. We'll make Fabio play initials with us.
Fabio, you're going to suck at this game because I'm sure it's Americanized. yeah.
Oh, damn it.
I went
Uh,
to.
Do you know
trust me,
much
I'm in the
about
same
American
boat as you,
sports?
Fabio.
Yeah, Madison. Do you
I-
know much about American sports?
It's not all sports.
American culture?
A little bit.
Yeah, you're going to be in match boat.
Yeah, I went to the passport office today to renew my passport so I could fly to Dallas for BGG,
Mhm.
and I get there, and it's like 40 people in line to talk to the person who tells you if you have all of the correct paperwork.
Oh,
And they send you to
Oh,
the-
you have a line just
got
to
the
see if you are
expediter.
on the right line.
which is good because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't, especially for
Right.
passport stuff.
Yeah.
So this is a Service Canada place where they do everything like passports, driver's license, and all that stuff. But anyway, so then once they determine you do have all the right stuff, they send you over to the chairs, and then you wait for the number on your little slip to get called. So I get there and I wait my 40 minutes to talk to the person. They're like, everybody's like taking 5-10 minutes at these people. Like they look at my stuff like, yep, good to go. See you later. And so I go, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a while. So I go to the washroom, I come back, I literally sit my cheeks down on the chair, and my number's called. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I go over to the place, and the guy serves me, and he's like doing all this stuff, and it's about 15 minutes, and about 5 minutes, and he's like, ma'am, I'll be right with you in a few minutes. And he's like talking over my head, because I was sitting down, over my head to the person behind me. And I didn't even look, but I could like right away, I'm like, oh my God. All I could smell was weed from the person behind me. And I'm like, I gotta look. So I look, and it's this young blonde girl with like her midriff showing, and I could just, the stench of marijuana off of this chick was incredible. I'm like, you needed to go to the government office, and you thought smoking up before you went was the best idea?
Yeah, why not?
Well, yeah, Barry, why not?
Yeah, why not? I do it all the time. I usually spray myself down, but I do it all the time.
It was pretty humorous, I gotta say.
Yeah. I thought it was legal up there.
Oh, it is. It is.
Federally, or is it just?
But I mean, it's no different than
Just coming into work drunk. Coming in there drunk.
having a couple of belts and then going into the.
Yeah,
fucking
why not?
office.
I get what Matt's saying.
Oh no, I don't drive and all that, but I wasn't assuming she drove herself. I
Like-
was assuming.
Oh,
If
God, I
you're
hope
going to
not.
the DMV
Yeah.
and you see like an openly intoxicated drunk guy, it'd be the same thing. You'd be like, well, what's
yeah.
maybe not the DMV, but like anywhere really,
Yeah. No, I'm with the driver's license. I'm very funny with that. To me, it's a privilege. It's not a right. I won't drive for a couple hours after I smoke or even drink. I was always like that. My job depended on my license a lot too, but that's something I never played with. I actually had a little conversation with my niece about that not too long ago. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Not get stoned and drive.
Well, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, even going to Texas when I drove down there, Jen would drive for an hour or two after I smoked, and then I switch off with her. That is one thing I do not like about the weed, is traveling with it. It's a pain in the fucking ass. I don't know what state's legal, what's not. If it is legal, is it medical?
I know somebody that flies to the States from Canada.
Not legal in Texas.
I know it is medical.
I mean, I guess there's some medical exceptions.
I know there is. I've seen the dispensaries. Yeah, you got one right by that hotel I stayed at in Dallas.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not, I forget what it was. The La Quinta up there. I forget that in that main drive there. Yeah, there was one right down the road. I forget. They all look the same. The roads to me, but it was right in that area.
Scott, when we're in Texas, me, Christina, Shu, and some others are gonna go. I have a hankering for a tomahawk steak.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, where are you gonna go?
I don't know. Where are we gonna go?
I mean, Bob's is really the place to go if you're because
Bob's is a good
So what's
steak.
a
Nope.
tomahawk steak? What's the difference between that
So
and a
it's
regular
it's
steak?
a rib.
It's a rib, yeah.
and
But
then
you get,
have
but you
the-
get it, but it's a big bone.
massive hunk. Yeah, and it's
Basically, you can hold the bone and it's like a tomahawk.
Whoa.
yeah, it's like it's
Think of
tomahawk.
one whole rib on a
Oh.
cow that they shave half of the
And
bone.
I want
Okay.
to
down.
go to. I
Yeah.
want to go so bad.
That looks
It really,
good.
you really, Bob's is really the place to go. Capitol Grill is also a place, but I don't know if you can get a tomahawk there. I know you can get a tomahawk at Bob's.
Why don't I get a
There was this
tomahawk
other
steak somewhere in
place that I
Fort
looked
Wayne?
up, and it was it had 2 initials at the beginning of it. I'll see if I can find it later.
Yeah, tell me. I'll let you know if it's
You
worth
gonna
it.
come with us?
I'd love to.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Scott, is there a Bob's in by the convention center down there?
Yeah,
Or the hotel?
It's not
down
near
there?
the. There is, but it's at the Omni,
Oh,
and
okay.
I've gone there, and it's okay. It's not really like. I mean, maybe it's okay, but when we went, we were like a little underwhelmed.
Okay.
You weren't
Like the
whelmed,
original-
you were underwhelmed.
I have a high standard for Bob's. Bob's. Every time I've gone to Bob's, it's been amazing. And then the one time I go and it's at a different location, and not amazing, then I have to question it.
Oh, that's the worst when you bring somebody there too, when you talk a place.
Oh,
up,
they were
that's
all,
like
they
the
were blown
worst.
away. They were blown away.
Yeah.
They don't know. They didn't know what they were missing.
They didn't know
But
the
there was
difference,
definitely some
yeah.
questionable things that night. It was just like, this isn't quite right.
So which one do you usually go to, Scott?
The one on Lemon.
Okay.
Lemon.
The only one I've been to is that one. I think it's in.
The one out,
Fort-
but the one out by the airport is great too. And
Oh,
that's
is
a
it? Yeah.
very good one. Yes.
That's the only one I've ever been.
That's
to.
where I took Keith there when he was in town.
Mateka?
He took me there actually because he
He
drove.
took you.
Keith Matika?
Keith Mateka?
Keith what?
Keith Matika?
Keith from
Oh no,
Thunderworks?
Keith Collins.
Oh,
Who's that?
Keith Matika?
Keith.
you
He used to
know
be.
Keith.
He used to. You know Keith. Keith Collins. He's on the show sometimes.
Oh,
Keith
that's
needs to
Keith.
come back on more.
Major
often. There we
major
go.
malfunction.
That's
He
it.
hasn't been on. Yeah. He came out for a couple days, and we painted the town red, as it were.
Did you? I was thinking about that. I'll get back to you on that, Scott. I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to Florida January, the end of January next year. So I was thinking about
Nice.
maybe stopping down for a couple days before I go out there.
Oh, book my flight. Cost me $75.
Whoa,
Oh,
big
good one.
time.
I use points.
points.
Boy,
Otherwise, it would have cost me.
Did you get a
Well,
first class
hold on a
ticket,
second.
or did you get
is that American dollars or you're
Economy
fake
or-
Canadian?
What, Scott?
economy or first class?
Economy.
Economy.
Dude, I was talking to a guy at Gen Con who's he runs a company, and he was telling me all about like how has all these airplane miles from work and he uses them to fly just all around the world. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, that'd be so awesome.
My brother had like a lot of miles. He was because he would fly to Russia.
Yeah,
Quite
right.
often.
Yeah,
Not Russia, Ukraine.
Ukraine.
One of my
Um,
friends was
and
he
that's a lot
had
of miles.
Yeah.
super elite status
Wow.
because he flew so much.
My brother did a lot. He was down in Colombia, South America a lot. But he's like, I'm sick of traveling, and I just don't want to look at a plane anymore. I don't want to be at an airport. He was down there, he was flying down there twice a month. Yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah.
A lot of
Flying
fun,
sucks these days, man. I don't like flying.
especially depending on how far you are from the airport.
I have nothing to gauge it to. Like I've flown pre 9/11 and
We're not
a
that
couple
far.
years ago. They're the only
I'm gonna
two things I
drive
have.
to Louisville next year.
How far is
Louisville?
that? How far of a
Same as
drive?
Gen Con for me, 12 hours.
12.
What's in Louisville?
Gamma.
You do it one day?
Oh, that's right.
I'll do it
And
in
Lou-
one day.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
buddy. Oh, this is so awesome. I'm thinking about starting to go to Gamma now because my buddy lives like 15 minutes south of Louisville.
Oh, sweet.
And I got a friend of mine who's like, hey, I could totally get you into Gamma if you want to go. So that'd be some big time content potentially, a lot of eyeballs. Speaking of which, I just made a theme queen YouTube short and threw that out into the
There you
the
go.
ecosphere.
Is
Hopefully
that where
hits.
you were?
Yeah. I got a whole stack of games on my table.
So
I had this
Gab-
idea during game night tonight to make a YouTube short where I ask people specifically to answer a board game related question in the comments and then comment or thumb up, just thumb up the ones that you did because I wanted to know something. And I'm going to try to do it, get these engaging YouTube shorts, hopefully.
I saw your short with the drain cleaner.
Dude, 250,000.
I don't
views.
understand why people are looking at that.
'Cause they're stupid.
I guess it's just something about it. Like, because there's no ending, right? It just ends. And you're like, oh, it didn't work.
Yeah. But that's That's a great review right there. You know, like, oh yeah, that's probably how I'll feel. Very unsatisfied. That video's got me 354 subscribers. It's stupid.
BS.
Are you talking about your sink cleaning?
Yep, 22,000
Well,
views
I
in the
was thinking
last
there would be
48
like
hours.
some kind of funny ending, but there was not. It was just-
No, man.
Yeah.
I'm just the board game
So,
plumbing guy now.
Lance, would you like to explain the rules to Fabio?
So Fabio,
Yeah.
I'm going, so there I have a deck of cards here. On each one of these cards, it has a person, place, thing saying something that will have the initials of B as in bull and S as in shit. I will read off the clues. At any point, you can say your name, and that is your buzzer. You will say Fabio, and I will say, what do you think it is, Fabio? And you'll tell me what you think it is. If you're right, you get a point. If you're wrong, you're out for that word. You can't keep guessing. So, and there's 6 clues for each thing. There's a local radio show that he publishes this. It's called The Initials Game. This is volume 2.
Which Scott still hasn't got.
Yeah, it still hasn't got. Yeah, I will actually see Corey Cove in a couple of months, probably.
Get him in a
So
chokehold and say, "Where's my friend's game, motherfucker?"
I
mean,
will tell him. So has anybody even entered the Initials Game into Board Game Geek? I don't even know.
I can check right now. I practically
so.
live on here.
Pretty sure it's there.
The Initials Game 2020. It is, in fact, on there. It has 2 pictures,
Oh, Evan's here too.
6.6 rating. And
He's in the
Evan's in
bedroom.
his kill
Dark
room,
room.
apparently.
The kill room.
Are you developing some photos there, sir?
I mean,
Were they nudes? You can
Hey.
be honest.
They were
Hey,
I don't
you
wanna-
just,
I don't wanna
you just,
brag,
you
but-
just made it. You just
him and his
made it,
wife
buddy.
for role playing.
what is that?
hey, Lance, you should totally give them some starage here. I'm going 8 stars.
8 stars.
Yeah. Super fun.
BS. Oh, I have a couple.
Super
I give
All
it an
right,
8.
so you just made it. Evan, Fabio, Evan.
Hello.
Evan, Fabio sent you after the Empire games to the Portuguese and Brazilian people. The Brazilian
nice.
people, not Portuguese. Yeah, he runs the company that handles our Brazilian fulfillment. So
Oh, sweet.
It needs,
I like,
it needs,
I like
it
that
needs
game.
5 more ratings to get ranked. So
I like that.
I just popped one off, gave it an 8.
I just
even
rated
left a
it
comment.
too.
Evan is the designer of After the Empire. So,
Scott, I love your website. Thank you so much.
all right, here we go.
Thank you.
It's so good.
Item number 1, clue number 1.
It's all right.
Here we
Appreciate that.
go.
Kabuki Kid added to me. Did you?
Sometimes connected to advertising. Often connected to politics.
Force.
Go ahead.
Bullshit.
Damn.
Ah,
The goal is often comedy. Often states a person's religious position. Can be
Barry.
difficult. Barry.
Leaf system.
Mm.
Number 5 can
Oh.
be difficult to remove.
Oh.
Final clue.
Oh.
These labels are commonly found on the
Matt.
backs. Go ahead.
bumper sticker.
Bumper stickers is correct. Well done, Matthew. Well done.
Well done, Matthew.
Had to
There
woke
you
my
go.
wife up. with
Difficult to
stickers.
remove. Brown stain. Brown stain.
Profit. Connected to Midnight Rambler by the Rolling Stones.
Force.
Go ahead.
Brown sugar.
I was gonna say that actually. Nice. I'm glad I didn't.
What it looks
Featured
smart.
in a 1968 film starring Tony Curtis and Henry Fonda.
What year was that? 68?
That is correct.
Okay.
Originally known by other names. Did you say something?
Say that clue again.
Or featured in a 1968 film starring Tony Curtis and Henry Fonda. Originally known by other names that included the words mad or phantom. Once escaped from prison. was connected to victims by DNA evidence?
Aldi.
Go ahead.
Boston Strangler.
Boston
Mm.
Strangler is
Nicely
correct.
done.
He knows his killers.
Another killer. I
Number
know
one.
killers.
Fabio has no idea what any of this is.
Ha. He knows what
It's
a
very
bumper sticker
It's very
is.
US centric.
That's true.
They
That's
have
true.
bumper stickers.
That's a good
Cars.
point
They
there.
have bumper
man.
stickers.
That's
Do
a
they?
good one, Lance.
Fabio, are there cars in Brazil?
Cards?
Cars. C-A-R-S. Driving
Automobiles.
Cars. Automobiles.
Well, they have a
Vehicles.
DMV. They better have
Do
cars.
they
Yeah.
do those
Usually the
automo-
DMV is for
The
we
scooters.
drive the donkeys.
The donkeys.
Like, we have monkeys around and we like, yoo-hoo,
That
yoo-hoo.
sounds right.
Donkey moving vehicle.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Clue number one, item number three. Debuted in 1974.
Forrest,
Go ahead.
Black Sabbath.
It's a good one though.
Before
Dang.
1974.
Just gave us a-
Yes, it is
Yeah.
before 7.
One of my favorite quotes about Black Sabbath was by Rob Zombie, and it said, Rob Zombie said, "Black Sabbath made every cool riff ever." And it's true. Go. I mean, I can listen to Black Sabbath. Oh, Children of the Grave, man. Anyway, here we go.
Ronnie James Dio, man.
Oh man. Rest in power.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I went to the Metallica concert the other night. I saw some video of it. It looked amazing.
Man,
I've
bet.
seen them in concert like six
amazing.
times, and they've never disappointed me.
It
Okay.
I
looked-
want to see
they played
amazing.
2 nights, all different set.
One of my team took some footage at the Beyonce concert. That stage was fucking nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
here we go.
Debuted in 1974. Clue number two. Featured Rock Ridge. Featured Quicksand. Was set in 1874.
Matt,
Go ahead.
Blazing Saddles.
Correct.
Ah,
Yeah, good enough.
Nice.
Blazing Saddles. Great movie.
The Adventures of Alan Quartermain. No,
Ah. Clue number one.
hey, quicksand, right?
Connected to boats. Debuted in Pennsylvania in the early 1900s. Its popularity expanded thanks to Walgreens. Do they have Walgreens in Brazil? I wonder.
Oh,
Not in Canada either.
Ha. Often features one cut. Generally paired with maraschino cherries.
Matt,
Go, Matt.
banana split.
Banana split
yeah.
is correct.
Nice.
Ding,
Uh,
ding.
Nice.
I'm
All
not
right,
stoned
Barry,
enough.
how's your microphone?
I'm not stoned enough. Give me a
Is this
minute.
thing on?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Appears in a floating timeline.
Floating time. Okay.
Was the 1990 Entertainment Weekly Entertainer of the Year.
Aldi.
Go ahead.
Bruce Springsteen.
Mm.
Good guess. That's a
Good
good
guess,
guess.
though.
Everybody's
That
writing
was a
down
guess.
Bruce Springsteen. This
That was
is,
a
you
guess.
know,
What's up?
now everybody's writing down.
I
Bruce
know
Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen's in there. In there.
Yeah.
I had that in the back door.
Yep.
His
Gotta
middle
take a shot.
name. His middle name is JoJo.
I would still guess Bruce Springsteen.
Famously connected to a chalkboard.
Matt,
Matt.
Bart Simpson.
Oh,
Bartholomew J. Simpson is correct.
Nice.
Um,
Good one.
I love one of the old Simpsons where Homer did not know what his middle name was because he
It's
just
J.
did middle initial, and he finally went back to the old house that his parents grew up in, and somebody wrote his name on the side, Homer J. Simpson.
Nice.
Jay. I thought that was a good episode too. It was really sad because his mom had to leave, and he just the final thing of the scene is because she's on the run from the cops, and the final scene is him just sitting on the hood of his car watching the moon come out at night, and he's just sitting there, just sad because his mom had to leave. Poignant.
Thanks, Lance.
Yeah, no, it's a good episode though.
Yeah.
Debuted in 1968.
Evan,
Go ahead.
Black Sabbath.
I was just about to, I'm like,
I'm
in now.
I needed one more clue. I probably should.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
Connected to witches, connected
Evan
to a
Witches.
geezer, connected to Iron Man. Yeah, there you go, Evan.
Thank you. Thanks for
No,
the, for the
I'm
clue.
gonna have to fall asleep listening to Black Sabbath tonight. I keep just thinking about it. Oh man, just such a man. Black
Awesome.
Sabbath. Okay. Has appeared in the comic strip Doonesbury. Look, Kabuki Kid's all full of herself. She was like, I even said it was 1968 earlier. Nominated for a Grammy in
Oh,
2018. Go ahead.
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to guess that on every question.
Once appeared on a boat on Saturday Night Live.
What's the year? What was the first clue?
The first clue? Well, weren't you paying attention?
Appeared in Doonesbury.
There was a lot of
comic
laughing, and I
strip.
couldn't hear the year. All right.
Connected to the Green Mountain State.
Evan,
Evan.
Bernard Sanders.
We would have accepted Bernard or Bernie Sanders. That is correct.
Is it Bernard or Bernard?
Boy,
I got another one I almost said that would qualify, but
Appeared in 2016's Angry Birds. Hosted Saturday Night Live in 2015.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Bruce Springsteen.
Angry Birds is a good movie.
Known for Austin. Once named. Somebody? Oh, sorry. Once named sexiest man alive. Often seen in a spinning chair. Final clue. Has romantic connections to Gwen Stefani and Miranda Lambert. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Matt.
Matt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blake Shelton.
Oh my god!
Blake
I
Country
knew the
guy.
guy. I'm like, what's the
Oh, yeah.
Shelton.
Yeah, I didn't know his name.
I would never
I
have got
couldn't
that.
get Brad
don't know who
Paisley
that
out of my
is.
fucking head.
A country guy. A country guy.
Yeah, exactly. Brad
We got-
Paisley, amazing fucking guitar.
We
player.
got 6 left. It's anybody's game right now.
It's anyone's
Nobody is
game,
mathematically eliminated. Here we go.
Everybody's guess.
Was a nurse from Chicago. Hired a private investigator to find an orthopedic surgeon. Was a gym owner.
Of course.
Go ahead.
Uh,
4, 3, 2.
Ben
One.
Stiller.
Oh,
Uh,
gets it in at the very end.
Hold it in.
Well done.
Dang,
Well done
nice.
for it.
Well done.
What was the orthopedic surgeon one?
Wasn't that the Happy
That was
Gilmore?
something
Yeah.
about Mary, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, something about Mary.
No, he worked in the hospital. It was Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
He's
And
in Happy
then
Gilmore?
and he
He
was
was in
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
How about a warm
Furious.
glass of shut the hell up?
Well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
I love that movie.
Can I have a warm glass of milk?
They did film a
I totally forgot
scene
his part.
where he got his comeuppance from Happy Gilmore, but they didn't it wasn't included in the movie. But they
Young
absolutely
man.
it's like, now you're gonna get it, Bobby.
I honestly never found his movies funny.
I remember when Roger Ebert reviewed Happy Gilmore, he said, I didn't really like this movie, but this movie told me one thing, that Happy Gilmore, or that Adam Sandler has it in him to make a good movie. That's what he said. He said there was enough flashes of brilliance that he said. And Uncut Gems, if you haven't seen that,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is a
man.
good movie. Yeah.
that is a good movie.
Intense.
It is intense.
So here we go.
Here we go.
We got, let me see here. We got 5 left. It is still anyone's game. Connected to Nebraska.
Come on, Aldi.
Connected to Wrecking Ball. Has been seen at the Super Bowl.
Evan.
Aldi.
Evan.
Barry Sanders.
And Aldi. Good
Forrest.
opinion?
Wrong
Aldi,
sport.
yeah. Bruce Springsteen.
No, really?
Hey.
Oh my
Uh,
Oh, you had it, Evan.
I
Take
thought,
it.
well,
I thought he did too, and I was gonna
I
be
know,
like,
I'm like,
oh, he's gonna
He threw
snake
me off.
Threw me a
away.
loop.
he threw me off with the Super Bowl. And then I was like, wait, has Barry Sanders ever been to the Super Bowl? Dang it.
Never. That would mean the Lions went, and they never.
Sure he
have.
visited.
Right. Yeah.
As
Well,
a fan.
I think he's been, but not
He might have bought a
on
ticket.
purpose.
That's
All
fair.
right, here we go. Appeared in 2002's Austin Powers in Gold Member. That's really weird. Appeared in 2002's Austin Powers in Gold Member. No, it should just be Gold Member.
It
So
should
I'll
be.
say it again. Appeared in 2002's Austin Powers Gold Member. Inspired Gwyneth Paltrow's character in 2010's Country Strong. Connected to Crossroads.
Matt.
Matt.
Barbara Streisand.
Number 4 has had a Las Vegas residency.
Barry.
Go ahead.
Britney Spears.
Is correct.
Yeah.
Kabuki Kid typed it in as briny Spears. I mean, just covered in
Oh, does she?
covered in salt water.
Because she's salty.
Delicious.
so-
Pickle
I'd be
spears.
salty too if I was
She's
under
so
conservatorship
salty.
for so long.
Yeah.
All right, we got 3 left. Let's see here. Let's yeah. All right, I think. Well, Forrest, you are.
Me and you are out first.
Wah, 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 wah.
No, actually, everybody but Fabio is still in it. So
Woo!
sorry, Fabio.
Oh, baby.
You can all tie Matt if you run the table with the 3
So
left.
you're saying there's
So-
a chance.
Oh, there is a chance, yes.
There's a chance.
Here we go. Often appears. Start over. I'll put that one to the back.
Okay.
New one.
New one.
Connected to Bruce Willis in 1991. Often seen outdoors. Sometimes connected to an eagle. known for a promise or oath.
Of course,
Bar-
Go ahead.
Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts is correct.
That would be the last Boy Scout.
Yeah, there. That's a
They
great. I
didn't
like that
say
movie.
how
That's a
many.
great
That's
movie.
a
A classy one.
it is an unexpected gem, I would
I liked
say.
it.
Last of the Mohican
Yeah.
Boy Scouts.
Yeah, just
Starring Daniel Day-Lewis and Damon Wayans.
the whole
Yeah.
when he says, what does he say to him? He says, Russell, please pick up Clifford's corpse and take it out of here. Because after you touch me again, I'm gonna kill you. Just like punches him and knocks his nose into his brain. So yeah. So and the opening shot to the football game, you know, and then the guy just running down the field, takes the
Oh,
gun out
yeah.
and starts shooting people.
Barry
Yeah.
Sanders.
No.
Very
Yeah, that's another one. Maybe I'll watch that while I listen to Black Sabbath.
You
Right.
do that.
I was at a Fleet Farm recently. You guys have Fleet Farms? If you don't, it's just basically
We do not. We
it's just
talked about
basically
it
a
before.
weird big store with all kinds of stuff. It's a Midwest thing. But there was one of those kids, a Boy Scout, selling their popcorn treats or whatever, just in massively overpriced popcorn, like $20 for like an 8-ounce bag of popcorn. But like the proceeds go to Boy
What?
Scouts.
Oh, right.
Sure.
Yeah, and so I was in Boy Scouts, but I quit, and I could have become a Eagle Scout if I'd stayed in it for like 9 more months or something.
quit
like
too.
that. Yeah, I quit, and I was gonna buy the thing, and I was talking to this kid, and I was trying to and he had just gotten done with Cub Scouts, and he was going into Boy Scouts, and his mom was with him, and I was like, hey, just so you know, don't be like me, don't quit. And this kid was just like, he was like staring at his phone, barely paying attention. Are you buying the
Okay.
popcorn or not? I was just kind of like, you little peckerhead.
He said that.
Dude,
No, he didn't, but it was basically like he didn't care. And admittedly, whatever, he's 11, he's not paying attention.
Yes, my
I-
elder noted.
Yeah.
I got thrown out of Boy Scouts for throwing a throwing knife at a tree when we were supposed to be carving soap. Man, but I loved Boy Scouts before that. I went to like a Boy Scout camp a couple of years. That
You
was
got
good
thrown
fun.
out for that?
Yeah,
Not just
that
the
was like
talking to?
that was the last straw. Kind
Oh.
of thing.
That was a nice.
I was a bad kid, man. I
Buried
was
the
a real
lead, my
bad kid.
friend.
Uh-huh.
Never been in Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
I was a beaver.
I bet you
beaver?
were. Here we go. 2 left.
Eager.
Once occurred at the office of Dunder Mifflin. Was featured in 1995's Father of the Bride Part 2.
Barry,
Go ahead.
bridal shower.
Eh.
Good guess.
Sometimes connected to sprinkles. It relates to an expectation. Commonly features games.
Aldi.
Aldi
Baby shower.
is correct.
Yeah.
Baby shower is
Oh.
correct.
Oh yeah,
Mostly
You
Barry.
threw us off.
Never
Sam's
seen The
baby
Office.
shower.
The other shower.
The other shower.
Throw out the baby shower with the bath water.
I think there's an Angela shower too.
If the initials were GS, it could have been a different type of shower.
Ooh.
Heyo.
Ooh.
Matthew.
I'm sure that was referenced at least once in the 9 seasons.
All right. If Aldi gets this, he ties for the win. If anybody else gets it, Matt wins.
Piss,
King
piss,
Baker.
piss, drip, drip, drip.
Here we go. Final one. So whatever. You know what I mean. Clue number 1. Often features nudity. Appeared in 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine. Known for hand grenades and hurricanes. Appears in the 3rd series in the NCIS franchise. Known for strip clubs, bars, and live music.
Aldi.
Aldi
Bourbon Street.
is correct. He comes back at
Nice.
the
Very
end
nice.
GG.
and
I
shares
was
the
like
victory
New
with
Orleans.
Matthew.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Boo Storlands.
See, I forgot about that one, and I went straight to Hawaii.
Did you? I
Oh
got
yeah,
Hey.
they had an NCIS Hawaii, didn't they?
Was
still do.
NCIS was NCIS any good? Is it?
I like
didn't
it.
see- I don't think I saw a single episode.
apparently there's a shitload
never
of
did.
them, Scott. Yeah.
Well,
I
there's
don't-
I
yeah.
watch a lot of CSI, but I don't really love it.
Yeah.
I like
You know
Mark
what-
Harmon.
Yeah,
Harmon.
Mark Harmon.
Mark Garman.
So I was waiting to pull out Bob Seger.
was waiting
I
for
like
Bob
Bob Seger. Little
Saget.
night moves
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
I was waiting for Bob
That's a
Saget.
tricky clue,
Full
though.
House. Yeah.
Bob
Saget.
Saget.
Yeah.
Bob Saget
Nope,
would
I'm
have
surprised
been.
there was no
Oh
Barbra Streisand.
man, too soon. Dearly departed.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, you know, Bob Saget. What? Any other BSs I can think of?
What did I write down?
Ugh.
You know,
Barbra Streisand was a good one.
Yeah,
Barbra
Streisand.
Streisand
Yeah,
was a
Barbra
good
It's
one.
not there.
Barry Sanders was a good one.
Yeah. I got
not too
him
much-
mixed up with
I don't-
Barry
I don't like
Bonds.
sports ones.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, I played a
Uh,
video game this weekend that was pretty fun.
What'd you
Yeah,
play,
that-
Scotty?
I blew a few hours on it. It's the escape room. Something. Hold on, let me give you the name.
Something.
I played a couple games too after Scott talks about it.
Okay.
Some Xbox Game Pass stuff.
Escape simulator.
Okay.
So they've got some. It's basically escape rooms, and you can play single player or multiplayer. But the multiplayer ones are really fun. Played with my buddy Mike, and there's also user generated content. There's hundreds of escape rooms that the users have made through Steam Workshop.
That's awesome.
And it's a good system. I mean, it's really good, like really well done. Good game, and I don't think it's that expensive. I think it's like $20, something. $14.99.
$14.99.
And then there's 2 add-ons that are $5 each, I think, or something like that. So there you go. Recommend it.
Has anybody played the Box One by Neil Patrick Harris?
I know about it. I think Forrest played it.
Yeah, I was actually one of my my bigger videos that like really got me a lot of stuff. But yeah, I did a gameplay video of it where I did terrible. It was fun though.
Yeah.
Oh
okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'd especially recommend it for like a couple, 2 players, or just solo too.
Yeah.
Like you could, it says it's for 1, but I think 2 people. I think it'd be a fun
Work
couple
together.
experience. Yeah.
Aldi,
Yes.
it was YO Ranch Steakhouse.
No, I don't. No, do not go there. No, I mean
Negative.
it's just not that. It's just it. I've been there, and it's nothing special. If you're gonna pick up, you got to go to Bob's.
That's cool.
Bob's is really the only. I mean, or you can go to Capitol Grill, but Capitol Grill's a chain. Bob's is Dallas.
Perfect. Done.
And maybe you'll run into Bob. I have a picture
Good
from
old
2019.
Bob.
I have a picture from 2019 BGG Con Fall that we all went to Bob's and got a picture with Bob.
Nice.
He was there.
Oh, really?
There actually is a Bob.
There is a Bob.
He's
Oh,
still
that's
kicking.
awesome.
How old is the chain, Scott? You know,
I don't know, it's
What
been around
was-
for a
what-
while.
What's the one that's right across the street from the game store? That was good.
The game store?
Yeah. in
Oh yeah, I
Dallas.
don't remember what that was, but it was.
Yeah,
good
well,
food.
yeah. That was good.
Which
They
game
give us
store?
2 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Bob's.
That's Bob's? Oh, okay, great.
Game store? Wait, I don't remember.
Yeah, there's a game store like on the next block over.
Oh, you know what? I don't know the game
Oh,
store.
okay. Second.
They don't
They
have
don't.
prices on their menu.
Bob's?
No.
It was
Wow.
good though. Yeah, it was really good. You just walk up and you're like, give us a half pound of that and a pound of that and a half pound.
Oh,
of
the
that.
hard. No, that's
Oh,
not.
Hard 8?
That's the hard
Maybe.
8 you're thinking of. I think.
Oh, is it?
barbecue.
Yeah, I
joint?
can't go back there.
Oh, the barbecue place,
Yeah, barbecue. Sorry.
not steak.
I'm sorry. Yeah, barbecue.
Was that
Why can't you go back there? What'd you do?
My
They
meal
dined
was
and
like
dashed.
$75.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
that was
get
hard
you
eight.
with
Oh, you
that.
went to Hard Eight. Oh no, you went to
Yeah.
Pecan Lodge, didn't you?
No, we went. Me and Lance and his buddies went to Hard Eight.
Oh, but that's
Yeah.
far. That's
They
too far.
get you with
It was like
that.
a $70 cab ride.
Yeah, it's way too far.
Wow.
Don't go there.
Is that the one
there's,
that we-
there's better places in like you can go to
It was good. It was very good.
Hold on.
Yeah.
the name is escaping me for some reason because I haven't been there in a long time.
Are we doing steakhouse in November? Is that what I'm hearing?
We are, yeah. I need myself a tomahawk steak.
Fabian, is there actually Brazilian steakhouses in Brazil with the paddle? You flip it, or is that
Fabio.
just an American gimmick?
We'll go to Shao.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
I like how he's just nonchalant. Oh yeah, we had like the best food
Lockhart.
ever, but
We
you know,
just call them
have, like-
steakhouses, not Brazilian steakhouses.
Lockhart Smokehouse is good.
We have like each corner, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
I was wondering if it was like Outback Steakhouse where it's.
Did
really
you
an
go with
American
us to
thing.
Loro?
No. To where?
I think it was like the last night. Loro, Loro, Loro. It was we ate outdoors. No, you weren't. Maybe you were out with us that time, Evan.
I don't think I did. Yeah, I went to the.
We went with the guy. We went with the guy.
taco.
Yeah, Velvet Taco is awesome.
Yeah. that was
Oh,
awesome.
were we with Travis?
Yeah, we went Travis,
Yeah, I was there.
Loro. That place. That's Franklin barbecue.
That was good.
place. It's not Franklin barbecue, but it is created by Franklin. Barbecue.
Yeah, they have little small
Nice.
bites. It was good.
Yeah, there was like little, some good stuff there.
I'll be staying an extra day this time, so I'm sure I'll get.
Now I'm
I'll
bummed
be
because
there
I'm
for a last
leaving on the
minute.
19th instead of the 20th.
Which day is the 19th? Sunday?
The Sunday.
I don't think it's worth staying to Monday. I mean, obviously, if Evan was there, it'd be more fun. But like, it's a ghost town on Sunday.
Yeah,
It really.
I think I just did it because of flights, not necessarily.
The
because
one
of-
time Evan's leaving after me.
I know, right? Yeah, we're sharing a hotel room, but our overlap is
Yeah.
like.
The year is speeding quickly. It's already almost September.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
already
right.
like trying to figure out what we're gonna do for
Yeah,
BGCon.
Are you going to Essen?
yeah.
Who's going to Essen? Anybody?
Shane and Josh are going. I'm
this
not
year.
going.
I'm gonna go next year.
Have you ever been to Essen, Fabian?
Yes, not this year.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh, you've been.
forfeit. I have enough of
That's a lot of traveling.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm going to since 2014. I'm go to Essen each year, so yeah, it's too much.
Okay.
Too much.
Okay, Fabian, I have a question. Have you ever seen a show called 3%? It's a sci-fi show. It's like the 3% or something, but
Oh.
I think it's Brilliant. 3%.
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
Oh,
and
it on
it's-
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
it called?
There's
I might have just said
3%
it.
in
I
English.
might have just said it
called?
horribly, but
Yeah. Okay. It's
In
you
English, it's
call
3%, Scott.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
3%.
Yeah. Yes.
I like it got really weird, but I loved it.
Yeah, it was. I think it
I
was
have a
weird.
really hard time watching dub stuff.
Is it dubbed or is it?
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
dubbed. It was
Yeah,
subtitled.
There's
It was subtitled.
Oh, okay. That's
Subtitle,
fine.
yeah.
I also have a really hard time watching
Go-
subtitles
go-
because I work when I watch stuff.
Oh yeah, that makes it
yeah.
tough.
I'll be like the whole time.
But go to strange places, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
got real. It got real
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, we have one on Netflix. The from Brazil folklore. It's very good, and I can remember the name because it will be in Portuguese and probably you have in English. But it's a cop that spoilers that he knows that he's like son of a folklore creature. And he's
okay.
like to see all the like something went off of his eyes and he can see all the creatures that are from the folklore from Brazil, and he starts to interact with them. It's
That's cool.
it's very good. It's because like
It's kind of like
told
grim.
you, it's kind of grim, but I don't think the name is grim. I have to watch it, but it's like usually we are used to see a lot of I don't know, Nordic and American folklore or history. And when you see something like this is from Brazil, like this character cannot be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like we have the Brazil has his own dolphin, like it's we call boto in Brazil. And the history is that the boto came off the river and take human forms and like go after the women's and take women's and have children, right?
Yeah.
So he's like a player. He's a fish player. He's a mammal, or
Yeah.
exactly,
Okay.
but he's a player. And the guy is a son of a dolphin, a boto. It's a sort of dolphin. So this is very like Brazil folklore. You don't have anywhere else. So that is a good show because of the connection that we have, and have a really good history because of how things going. And it's going to some dark places also. That's not usual how we do it.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, the 3% is more spiritual stuff. Like you have they have the different ideas of something, some like holistic stuff. So what's happening? You have some debates here about it. That was good. But I have finished, right? They have finished the series, yeah. So
Jen and I
Oh.
actually started watching this HBO series about a telemarketer.
I started
don't
watching
remember
that.
Dude, that is so fucking nuts.
It
The
is.
shit that's going on. I think we saw 3 episodes or 2 episodes of it so far. It's not
I
done
had
yet. I don't
I couldn't
think.
make it all the way through one episode.
Oh, it was nuts.
It was
What is it?
nuts.
Give me a minute, Scott. It was about telemarketing. It's on HBO or Max, whatever the hell they
Telemarketing.
call it. Yeah. About the FOP fundraisers back in like the 90s.
FOP.
Federal.
Fraternity of Police.
Yeah.
Fraternal
Oh, yeah.
Order of Police.
Yeah.
I always hang up on them.
Yeah, but it was the
I mean,
telemarketer.
I don't normally answer the phone, but when I see something
Yeah.
that I feel like I need to answer, then I
Yeah.
hear it and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem hanging up on people now. I used to
Oh, I
feel
never
feel
did.
bad,
I never did.
but now that they mark them spam, it's easier. It's way
Yeah, yeah.
how the movie that you like, Lance, the one for the train wrong number.
Oh yeah, no. There's like some old, I think I think it was Shaft in Africa, if I remember correctly. But there's like it was
Shaft
like
in
this
Africa.
there was this scene where there's this, like, just picture an old phone, ornate phone, and it's just and like the camera shows it, and it's just, you hear this ring, and it's like 9, 10, 11 rings. The phone just keeps ringing, and finally you see this hand reach out and pick up the thing, and there's this guy, and he's just totally from head to toe dressed like a pimp, and he picks the phone up and he just goes, "Wrong number." That's how he answers.
What's that from?
It's like Shaft in Africa or something.
Shaft?
Yeah, it just ring, wrong number. I remember that's what I want. I want to answer my phone like that. When anybody calls me, just pick it up. Wrong number.
That's correct.
It was yeah, I think it was Shaft in Africa. I don't know. It might not. Who knows?
It was odd.
It was that was, like Dolomite movies and all those.
Oh God! Did you watch the Dolomite with Eddie Murphy? That was really good.
It was a good one.
Classics.
Classics. Eddie Murphy.
Oh, I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin soon.
Pumpkin, you sure?
Go to bed.
How's your work going?
Good. Good.
Good.
We finally wrapped Divinity.
Yeah, I bet that's exciting.
Yeah.
Say,
Got a couple other stuff that's coming up, so it's gonna be fun.
I hope it's a good game.
Yeah, me too.
Is it the same? Was it totally reworked or is it different?
From the Kickstarter, it's completely
Yeah, because the Kickstarter was like I don't know, there was like a There was some kind of disc to play on.
Yeah, that's gone.
Oh, that's okay.
This is like
Anything about the Kickstarter has been long gone.
It's literally a different game from.
I'm curious
stem
how
to
that
stern.
will go over with the Kickstarter backers, but I guess they'll be happy to get anything.
Well, it's been a saga, so it's they've been along for the ride, and I'm sure they've said lots. But
Did we already talk about the gambler's chest getting delivered?
What's
What?
that?
That was
I
like
have
a 7.
mine.
I think that was like 6 or 7 years old. The Kingdom
Oh,
Death
right.
Monster.
Is it that old?
Right.
Wow.
Was it? I forget. I thought it was like 6 or 7 years.
I know it was
The
a
Kingdom
while.
Death Monster.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Maybe I'm exaggerating it. It felt like 7 years.
Is that the Arkham Horror one?
Gambler's Chest. Kingdom Death Monster.
Kingdom Death Monster, baby.
It's the Arkham Horror on steroids one.
Yeah, I think I played that finally.
I've only played it like 3 times, but I loved it.
I've
And
never
the guy
played
that
it.
came got really into his girlfriend at that time and proposed to her in like 2 weeks, and I never saw him again, except for one time after they broke up.
Them
then
damn
he found-
dames.
And he came a couple times, but then he found another girlfriend, and then he never came back, and he's never came back. But I welcome him with open arms. But yeah,
You sound like a preacher for a really weird church.
yeah.
And then he found another one. And then he
Dude.
But when
I
you
did-
don't have a girlfriend, come on back. We'll be glad to see you.
there's so many weird game night
2017
situations.
is
you
when
get.
that thing went. It's been since 2017.
6 years, yeah.
You know what so you're out of the blue. I just had to mention because I finally watched the movie and like somebody had said it's I'd heard so many horrible things about it. And then as far as the level of graphic violence in it in a horror movie, but somebody was like, you have to watch it because it'll just blow you away. And you have to get through. And I was like, and I'd heard so many things about it, and I was like, fine, I'll finally. And I like literally, I can usually take violence in a movie, just because I know it's not real, whatever. When John Wick is popping people in the foreheads with guns, it's not real, it's whatever. But like this is just like, there was that realm of like graphic violence porn in horror movies that was going on, and like the in the 2000s and into like anyway the movie's called Martyrs, and ultimately it has an ending that makes you think and makes you actually go, whoa, that's huge. But I don't know if I've heard people like saying, oh yeah, my third watch of the movie, I've figured out so many things. I have never seen this something.
Martyrs?
It is the most graphically violent like movie that it is. It's very psychological as far as the horror goes. It is. So I don't know if I can recommend it. It has one of the
Just
most
2008.
Yeah, it has one of the most profound endings. Like literally, it was one of those. I sat there and thought about the ending for a good half hour, 45 minutes. I watched the movie by myself because I knew my wife wouldn't want to watch it. And there was no way in hell I was gonna watch it with my kids. A buddy of mine had it on DVD and he loaned it to me. And I finally sat up one night and watched it all by myself. And I was just like, holy fucking shit. After I got done watching the movie, like literally it was gut churning at times. And then I got done, but the ending has stuck with me for like days. It's just like, and I don't want to give any spoilers about it, anything. Like, it sucks because the ending is.
Are you giving spoilers here?
No, I'm not.
I don't want to give
I'm
spoilers.
not going to give any
ending.
spoiler. I'm not going to give any. The ending is
Sometimes.
fucking fantastic. The ending of the movie is like grab you by the throat. Think about that, motherfucker, and you're just like, and you're stuck in, it gets stuck in your head, and it's been stuck in my head for days. Like if I'm just sitting there thinking about nothing, all of a sudden the ending pops up in my head, and I start like thinking about it, and it just sucks that like this entire movie is so raw and awful that like
Is it Raffle?
What's the
it's
name of it again?
Martyrs, Martyrs. It is a extremely difficult watch. I haven't been this. I was never that. I've never felt that awful watching a movie. I mean, the only other movie I can think of that like I had trouble like getting through was probably Denis, the Dune director. I'm not gonna butcher his name, but
The Dune director?
the director of Dune, I Denis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Villeneuve or
yeah,
whatever.
Villeneuve,
Denis Villeneuve.
yeah, but he did
The new.
a movie called Polytechnic that I watched, and that was like the most. And I had trouble getting through that movie as well. That's a fucking horrible movie to get through too, and that one didn't even come close to having as good of an ending. But anyway, so yeah, just there. I watched a movie and it is yeah, horrible, and it is tough to get through, but the ending, I wish the ending sucked, because then I would say nothing good about the movie, but then I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's anyway, there you go. That, and I watched all of, because I needed something just in the background to watch. I started watching Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix, and that is just popcorn TV. It's not even. It is completely and totally like totally popcorn TV. There's nothing. It is perfectly solid B material that you could just have on, and like you could literally not watch it, have it on a different computer screen or on a TV on that side of the room, barely pay attention to it. All of the actors involved give you the most milquetoast of milquetoast work with their carbon copy characters that are just, like that you learn their 5 character traits that they have, and they just continue doing it constantly. And you never, but they do tell a story over 8 to 10 episodes that have like a few twists and turns that you can barely, but you still don't have to watch it at all, and you'll know exactly what's going on the entire time.
Lance, you
What are
need
you
to
trying to
take
say,
that
Lance?
snippet and turn it into a YouTube short. Like, no joke. You need to take that exact TV title and take that YouTube short just for that 1 minute. I think that would be very good. If that was less than a minute, I think I'm sure there'd be so many people who would agree complete with you, or you'd be like, no, you're totally wrong. Like, low hanging fruit. You should take that, man.
No thanks.
Okay.
I don't
It's
care.
like his fruit hanging.
You can
high.
steal it and do it yourself. Go ahead. But
I'm not
like
going
I
to
said,
steal your content.
Yet.
But there you go. You can but yeah, if you like I said, if you want to watch I seriously want other people to watch all of Martyrs so I can actually talk to them about the ending. So I can discuss what you think the ending means, and
Is it on a streaming service?
I don't think so. I don't think so. That's why I had to borrow the DVD.
What do you get
Digital
out of
video
horror movies?
disc, huh?
What do I get out of horror movies? I used to like the thrill of being scared, but now I just like, as soon as any tension starts to grow, I can just remove myself from it, because I'm just like, I'm watching a movie. I'll if I start feeling myself like I gotta grab the sides, or I'm like, oh god, I just say, like, if I have to, I'll pause it and I'll just say, you're watching a fucking movie, relax, and then I'll push play. So what do I get out of a horror movie? I get out of a horror movie if like they do a really good job of like the suspense aspect of things, like actually like and like there was that movie Smile that came out like a couple of years ago or whatever, which I thought was really creepy, and like the creepiness of Smile was really, really well done. But then like it ultimately fell apart like they all do, seemingly.
Mhm.
Horror movies seem to just fall apart in the third act. You know, they either they just make it cartoonish, like with their. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give away Smile or anything like that, but I mean, it's one of those things where I just it's a situation where like Smile was like, oh, is it in their head? Is it in their head? Or how is this thing happening to all these people? This creepy stuff that's happening to all these people. How are these people dying? That kind of thing. And then they have an answer to it. And I'm always a big believer in that, like when you have the question, it should have an answer. Like, I mean, I always hate, like, I mean, I thought that as good of a movie as Inception was, I fucking hated the fact with the top. Just pick a fucking ending. Pick a fucking ending on it. Don't leave it up to me, which is weird because with Martyrs, it's like I don't want to say anything, but I mean, it's like it's one of those things where I'm a big believer in stick the landing and let me decide whether I think your ending is good. And so when you watch a movie like Smile that sticks the landing and says, here's what's going on and here's the explanation, I can say that sucked. I didn't like that. It would have been better if you had done X, or whatever. You know? I mean, but then there's movies like Hereditary, which I think is one of the best horror movies that has come out ever.
Agreed.
And they stuck the landing with that mother. And I was like,
my God.
holy shit. I was just like, and they're like, and here we'll explain it. And I was like, holy fucking shit. I am freaked out. I mean,
I saw that late night showing with Movie Pass, and when I got home that night, I literally ran as fast as I could from my car to the house. I was so fucking scared.
That's why I don't watch any kind of horror movies.
Is it?
It's not for
I don't
everybody.
watch.
Yeah, I'm not. I like let the right one in. That types like that thriller, I guess you would call them, more so than horror. But them slasher, gory, I don't get them. I don't understand. Yeah.
No, the last one that I watched was Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah.
And I was it was an afternoon and I put up on the DVD and I watched by myself. And I remember the feeling and I said, never again. I will never watch again a movie, horror movie, psychological or slasher or whatever.
I bet
I
that
like
did
to
it for a
feel
lot of
good.
people.
Yeah,
because of-
I'm not watching. And I have worked with me a guy who is a movie critic. He has his own website. He's known for, and he loves horror movie. And sometimes he like Lance, he start to talking about this new horror movie who came. He received a movie from, I don't know, somewhere in Europe who sent him a movie so he can watch and post it and stuff like that. And he starts talking about it. And I said, yeah, I don't really want to listen. I don't want to listen why there's something like different from whatever makes you stuff like that, because does not connect with me, or maybe connect too much and I be too much scared. And I remember Blair Witch and I cannot sleep, and I'm always afraid, like 1 or 2 days, or like sometimes I was looking and post and I said, no, never again. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with horror movie and me. I really don't like it at all.
And it's weird to think that those are like the best horror movies, the ones that elicit that emotion.
Yeah.
And I know that like emotion, like fear is and all this is part of what the guys want, because we have some really good horror directors in Brazil who are making like really good. And I will send you a list of like Brazilian horror guys that we bring for our own event that happened here in Brazil. The Santos Creativa Geek Festival is like a street festival. So like people from all of Brazil came because everything's free and we have board games and stuff like that. And we always bring like 2 or 3 movie directors, horror movie directors, and they make, we have like workshops, and they are on panels talking about, and I'm listening, right? Because I'm working on the event, I'm on organization side, and I'm like, they are telling all the feelings that he wants to put on you. So he like this kind of take, and the actress has to do this and stuff like that, and he has to plant the feeling and make you thinking about it and make the change and make you feel in your own skin what's going on and go full motion with the camera, stuff like that. And he's talking, and even he's talking the technical part, and I still don't like it. And I said, no, that's not for me. I really don't want to see this kind of movie. That's really not for me. But it's really good movie because everyone else is like, oh, this is amazing, and you keeping coming over the weeks, like the same feeling that you have with this one. And I said, no, that's not for me. I really don't want to overthinking why there's some things are happening. Now I'm too scared. I'm like, no.
But I
I'm
mean, I mean, I never understand people getting scared watching a horror movie. I mean, it's like, when I was younger, sure. I mean, like, I remember my dad taking me to the movie Alien, and that made me fucking lose my shit, just like that was. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's just a movie. It's like the monster's not going to come out of the movie. I mean, I think it's. I
try to explain to my mind. I cannot connect it. I don't want to. I don't like even. I have seen some. I don't know, Friday 13 movies, and there were Fred Krueger and stuff like that. And not even now I cannot watch it. And I have watched all of those, but no. After the Blair Witch Project, I was alone. No, nah. Because that's the thing.
Yeah, I was just curious. Like, I don't get. I know the horror thing. Like, there's a horror movie coming out just about every day now. I know it's a big thing. I just don't get it. Yeah.
Well, horror movies are definitely made a comeback. For a while there, they were kind of a lost
Yeah.
Thing, but now
I think
they're-
westerns are trying to come back now.
I
I do. I do. There's
I like
quite a few of
westerns.
them in the works. Yeah.
Silverado,
I know
baby.
movies are a dying art, but I still
Some of
think there's
the best
definitely
movies I've
something
seen
to
are
say
westerns.
about going on a date to a horror movie and then the other person actually being scared and just being closer to you. Like, that's a real thing. Like, that's a real fun thing on a date when you go like that.
Yeah,
That's-
Jen tried that on our date. It was a stupid movie though. Didn't work. Backfired on her. The Strangers, was it? Liv Taylor was in it. Yeah, it was a stupid movie. Yeah, I get what you're saying, though, Forrest. Yeah, there is that. But do people go to the movies anymore? I mean,
Hey,
on
Barbie.
dates. I mean,
Barbie made more than Mario. It's still going.
that's
Yeah.
still. I mean, on the average movie, not. There's always going to be the outlier, Barbie or whatever.
I don't know, man. I think horror movies their own special lane, though. Like, I feel like they
Yeah.
try intentionally to make a lot of those lower budget so that, if they pop off 60, 70, 80 million, it's like, boom, we made a good profit. Let's do the sequel.
Yeah. And then the sequel to the sequel, to the sequel.
Which would explain why you feel like they're coming out every other day, because they're relatively cheap to produce, at least compared to, the big blockbuster movies. And they have a loyal fan base who just want to feel that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, the strike is still on, so we're not going to see it much for a while.
Right.
And not necessarily.
There's going to be a gap in like 2 years.
I mean, you
Again,
can
with
do
the horror
Yeah, that's
movie.
been a complete non-story. I mean, like, nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody's saying, "Oh,
depends who you're talking to.
Well, no, I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
it
I mean,
does.
I've got a friend who works for Simpsons.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's crushed.
Well,
I
and
mean,
that's fine because
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm not saying it's fine that that thing, but I mean,
Fine that they're
but I
starving.
mean, as far as being national news or anything, nobody
Right.
fucking gives a shit.
I
It's
think-
just like-
that's not the news. It's not,
Right.
it's outside
Nah.
the cycle. I mean, it's not exciting anymore.
I think
Yeah.
48
the-
hours news
the
cycle is
one
up. It's
the
moving
one
on.
genre that will be affected least by the strike will be horror, because most horror films are
Are
indie
independent.
films,
Yeah.
and indie films
Aren't
Sure.
affected.
below a certain level of funding are exempt from the strike.
Well, maybe we'll have a reset on a bunch of movies and
Yeah.
being good again.
I
So
kinda-
we're,
Indie films will arise and take the limelight away from whatever.
Yeah, I'm
Although
kind
I
of
thought
interested to see what
Oppenheimer
happens.
and Barbie were awesome. I mean, they're both
Right.
awesome.
yeah.
Oh my
But again,
gosh.
they're outliers. I mean, it's
Yeah.
on average how many good movies that came out. Well,
I mean,
it's
I don't
been-
know what else came
yeah.
out this year that I thought was
Yeah.
good.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a fun
Not
question.
that I've seen very much. Yeah, I mean, what are the big releases this year? We could.
I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. I know that one was a little
I
bit
did
hit or
not
miss.
enjoy that.
No, it's not good.
It was alright.
didn't think it was good. It was
Yeah.
tedious.
Yeah. Someone along the way made the James Gunn like a master, and he's not.
No.
Someone is lying to you, like, oh, he's
They're lying.
There's moments.
he
in
will
there.
define the
There's some
DC universe as
He's
no.
going
Yeah.
to.
There's some moments of Guardians 3, but
Just like
for
Snyder.
the
did.
most part, I think it's a downer movie.
That was a downer, but I think that's what he's going for.
movie.
Why would you do that with a fun property like that? It's so
Yeah,
it's
why
not-
would
Because-
you?
Because
It's
it's
that's
not
what
like
they
I'm looking
do,
for
man.
Guardians 3 to like get an emotional tearjerker response from Guardians 3. I feel like there's trigger warnings in that movie and that were never mentioned to anybody. And I mean,
Yeah.
geez,
It was intense. Yeah.
there's quite a lot.
Yeah,
Well, I think that was the point, though. Like
What
we've grown
in a
to love these
superhero
people.
movie for kids?
Well, it's not it's
Are
not
they
for
really
kids.
for kids anymore?
It's not?
PG-13.
Yeah,
It's for adults.
Dude, it's for kids.
It's pretty much what happened in Toy Story. You know?
It's a
like,
summer blockbuster for kids.
Yeah, you got a point, for us. There
Come
was one of them Toy Stories that was very similar in the story.
They were-
Yeah, I forget which one.
maybe, yeah, maybe there was
3, 4.
What are the
one
summer
of them, though,
blockbusters?
or yeah. Transformers tanked. The Flash tanked.
Little Mermaid
Little Mermaid, I forgot that came out. That tanked.
tanked.
Yeah, I forgot all about all this.
Elemental. Anybody
Tanked.
watch that?
Is it out? I don't
Fast
know.
X. Fast X did well, I think.
Elemental did sort of well.
Yeah. Fast X.
Haunted Mansion.
I
that
No.
tank. That
I
was
Is that
heard it
even out yet?
tanked, did it?
they
Did that
were
come
they
out?
were impacted by the actor strike too, because they weren't able to go
To
advertise
promote
that
it,
movie,
yeah.
and they had like a really good, like they had like Danny DeVito who could have been doing like the rounds and stuff. They had
Yeah.
Rosario.
that was a
yeah.
blow.
Did anybody see
Yeah.
Joyride?
no.
Don't
I
even
don't know
know.
if that's is that a
Yeah.
blockbuster? Gran Turismo?
That's
Yeah,
Oh,
that's not-
that's
Gran
That just
Turismo
came
be
out,
released
right?
right now,
just
right?
came out. Yeah,
Wait,
about
Yeah.
Gran Torino's one. I was like, didn't that
Turismo.
come
Clint
out?
Eastwood.
But Gran Turismo is about the video game, right?
Yeah, it's the
believe
kid who
so.
learned how to drive.
Yeah, the kid who learned how to
video
drive
game.
playing the video game, and then he.
The guy from
Yeah,
Stranger
oh, okay.
Things is in it. I
Right.
can't remember his name.
Totally possible.
Like this
Like-
list of
Well, no,
blockbusters.
it's totally based on a real story. He
Yeah, it is.
fell in love with
Hilarious.
he fell in love with the idea of being a race car driver from
Did
playing the
anybody watch-
game.
Anybody care about Blue Beetle?
I wanna see
that
that
I
with
came
my
had
kids.
zero interest in
Yeah,
seeing that
I heard
because-
that
out. It's Greatest American Hero.
because it ain't Ted Cord, baby. And if it ain't Ted Cord, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch no Blue Beetle bullshit.
Mm.
I don't know.
What else
I
we guys got?
Going to, Indiana Jones. Anybody care about that movie?
You know, I
didn't
wanted
see
to go see it, but
I
I mean,
wanted to see
I
it.
never
I'll watch it
got
on
to, I never
streaming.
got to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
now I'll just
yeah.
it'll stream on Paramount soon enough.
Yeah.
So
I heard the Spider-Man movie was good. Spider-Man.
Yeah,
the-
universe one.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
the new cartoon, yeah, that was good. I watched that.
But Mario was good
God.
also. Mario was
The web
good.
sucks, man. The web is really broken. Like if a website crashes my phone because of the ads, something's wrong.
Oh yeah.
Oh. There is a road.
Time.com.
Time.
Elemental, The Flash.
Yeah,
Bomb.
Oh,
We knew that.
Yeah, it crashed again. All right.
There's
let
a
me
lot
see.
of issues with that. I think what else came out this year.
The only movies that I can talk about are the B movies, movies that is not on the big screens.
Yeah.
And I like the like really bad movies, like the movies they
Oh,
like,
that,
I like it. Like that's the kind of movie that I like it.
I don't watch those
awful.
movies, but I watch the YouTube channels that cover those movies.
Yeah. And
Anybody
I have
see
a
No Hard
friend who
Feelings?
has a YouTube
No.
channel that talk about this kind of
never heard
movies.
of No Hard Feelings. Oh, Tom
That's what-
Cruise had a movie that came out.
J Law is in it. Jennifer Lawrence is in it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Mission Impossible. That one was unfortunate. They really needed that IMAX and they
Mission
didn't get
Impossible:
it.
Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Part 1, so that tanked. Is that what you're saying? Or
I don't think it did.
It probably didn't
Open.
go to expectations.
oh,
Meg
okay.
2. Anybody watch Meg 2? Anybody care about Meg 2?
Lance definitely
No, I did not
not
watch Meg 2.
No,
and I
that one
got in
actually opened
trouble.
We watched
34
8
million
seconds
bucks.
of it. All the
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles looked kind of cool. Did anybody see that?
Yeah.
My son,
Oh, I heard
my
that
mom,
was,
my
yeah.
mom took my son to that.
animated
And they
one, yeah.
they said they both. My mother had no idea what she was watching, but
Yeah, Gran
you
Turismo
weren't a
looked-
turtle,
but she got to
fan?
spend some money on my son, and that made her happy. So
Okay.
that's all that matters.
No,
Grays looked fun. I saw the preview for that at Oppenheimer. That's the dogs that are all.
Yeah.
They're like, it's like a gang of dogs that are they're tough.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those
There was some
commercials for
funny.
that.
Will Ferrell and Jimmy Fox. Pretty fun. It looked funny.
There's been a
Maybe-
bunch on Xbox, I think.
Oh, the Mario Brothers.
and that's it for the summer blockbusters. Summer's over.
The Mario Brothers
Yeah.
movie came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so.
yes.
It did pretty well, didn't it?
Was that a summer blockbuster? I don't think it was. I think it was like a
Yeah.
spring movie.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons that time.
Yeah, I would say
Dungeons
this was
Dragons
kind of a
also.
downer.
Oh yeah,
Dungeons
I'd
and
say
Dragons, I like
That was
it.
last year though, wasn't it?
No, that was earlier this year.
Was that this year? Oh, that was like winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Okay,
It's
there
fun.
you go.
Did you guys hear the voice actor for Mario is retiring from the
Yeah,
video
I
game?
saw
The original guy, after I think it's 30 years.
Well, there's a new Mario coming out this year.
He plans to sleep on his bed full of money.
I don't know. You think he got money back then? He probably got shafted on the contracts. Yeah.
When did he start having a voice?
The original game. He's the original
There was
voice.
a voice in the original game.
Yeah.
Did it? I don't
Grunting,
remember
maybe,
any
man.
voice in Super Mario Brothers.
Didn't they grunt?
Did it? No,
I don't
they didn't have
know.
any voice. There was
I
no
mean,
voice.
like when they're jumping barrels and
In
stuff.
the 80s, there was no voice.
Was it Mario 64 maybe?
Maybe. Yes, 64 had voice.
It's me, Mario. Yeah, because that's the main entry screen. You're like, oh my
It's
gosh, that's
me, I'm a
amazing.
Mario.
Mhm.
Dude, I remember being a kid. That blew me the F away. Seeing that, like stretching his face out. Just that technology just blew your mind. As a kid, at least.
Did anybody watch a Mario movie?
No,
I watched my kids.
I don't think this
liked it.
movie of blockbusters was. I mean, I guess Barbie and Oppenheimer probably were like the killer.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Okay,
Mario made
have-
$1 billion. Let's not discredit that. That's a stone.
No,
Yeah.
but that's
blockbuster.
not. It wasn't
Yeah.
on a summer movie. Yeah.
How
Technically.
many clones of Barbenheimer you think we're going to have next year and the year after?
so many.
trying to catch this.
Well, Christopher Nolan's a beast, though, man. Like he's his own event movie, man.
Oh yeah, he either hits or he misses. It's there's no real in between with him. But
But it's
It-
too long, right? I think.
yeah, that's why I haven't seen it. I can't sit through that long.
Yeah.
It's long
it's
but
too
good.
long.
It's long,
But it's good. But it's too
Yeah.
long.
I hope that
So-
comes to a streaming service I have.
I'm glad I saw it in the theater because the sound is like unreal. It was like one of the
Yeah.
best sounding movies I've ever heard.
Yeah, and he had made it the I think it's not the last movie, but some while ago he made one from the guys who taking the army. I can't remember the name.
Dunkirk.
Yes.
Dunkirk, yeah.
Dunkirk.
Yeah, Dunkirk was
And
alright.
the sound is amazing.
Yeah.
And he even
It's alright,
record
yeah.
his own watch.
I don't know if the sound in Tenant was amazing though. At least whatever. I never saw it in the theater though.
I think is that the one with that rampant noise in the background?
Yeah.
That annoyed the hell out of me.
No, the Dunkirk had the rapping noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that annoyed the hell
Where
out
it's
of me.
constantly going down.
Yeah,
I
It's like
saw
everyone's down.
Dunkirk in the movie theater, and it's the only time in my life where it was like painful.
Yeah.
Like the scenes inside
Sounds
those
awful.
subs.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was. I hated it. I hated seeing it in the movie
Oh
theater.
yeah,
to be
it's
honest with
awful.
you.
It's awful.
And then I noticed a bunch of movies follow that afterwards. And it annoyed me every time afterwards too.
But that's an acclaimed movie, so I'm assuming it's not so bad when you're not watching it. Like when you watch it
In the
on
theater?
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I watched it on my computer. It was not. Although it was a tense movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It got my full attention.
Hmm.
Well,
He has his own pace when he makes a movie.
Yeah,
It's different.
it does.
He makes his way, and he has like figured out how he want to tell the story, and you have to go on board. If you are not going on board, you're gonna not you like on the half the movie you say, oh, I don't want to see no more, but because you have to go through his eyes. That's the thing on horror movies, the same thing. When the director, he won't put you on his eyes and see, and I cannot connect with that. So that's the thing. The same thing on different genres.
Okay.
You're
All
wrong.
right.
You're wrong.
I think I'm gonna hit it,
Wrong.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose.
I don't want to end the
it's-
conversation if you guys are keep going, but
No, you're fine. You just make it worse.
You make it worse. Yeah.
Man.
Make everything better.
Yes, you make everything better. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really have anything else going on either. If you haven't already, go to greatfoxgames.com and sign up to be notified upon the launch of Worlds of Midgard. Get the promos that are associated with that.
when does it
We'll
go
be back. What?
when does it go live?
September 5th. September 5th, baby.
It's a long time.
Oh, can I celebrate something? I got an email from YouTube, big time. I got my biggest YouTube video ever. It that Zepp's
$17.
across 250,000 views. It's made $30 and it's gotten me like 351 subscribers.
250,000 views and you only got $30.
Hey, but the subscribers, man, subscribers.
It's all about
30 bucks.
subscribes.
30
I don't care about the 30.
$30
like,
is $30.
the
It's all
money
about them
will come.
subs.
The money will come just
250,000.
because.
That's so disheartening. I mean, I'm not. No, it's great. I mean, congratulations, but like
Hey,
250,000 views is like a lot of views.
I'm snatching
I mean,
up
for a
all these
minute.
people who might not know they're board
I mean,
gamers
are they
yet.
putting ads in front of you? I mean, I don't even like. How would you sit there and watch an ad in that video?
So
or it's-
essentially, when you're
how does
scrolling
that
through
work?
YouTube Shorts, every
Oh,
once in a
I-
while,
Oh,
you'll
they
have
put
an
it in there.
ad.
I have YouTube Red, so it doesn't. I don't ever see an ad on YouTube.
And so, if I recall correctly, it splits the thing between the two YouTube Shorts that it's in between, or something
I
like
see.
that.
Okay.
I see.
Wow, how weird.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
parlay.
good for you.
So what's your
Do-
next
do more
what's your next
products.
what's your next product you're gonna show off?
I bought it at Lowe's. I was actually going to do it tonight, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's this little stick you stick down the drain, and it's supposed to help unclog it. And it's got like mini, I don't know, nutrients and stuff. It's supposed to break it up. I'm pretty sure it's not going to work for shit, but it's an easy video. So there you go.
Stop dumping chemicals down
The
your
worst
fucking
part of that
drains.
is you're gonna have to clog your drain.
This one's
Yeah.
not chemicals. I'm pretty sure this one's all natural. I remember that saying on the box. That was like one of the big selling points.
It's
Which
all
means I think there'll be
natural.
even more interest in the product, though, Barry.
You can trust whatever they write on the box.
Yeah, advertising never
Hey,
lies.
$6 at Lowe's can't be wrong. That's
No,
dirt cheap.
hell no.
That's an impulse buy that I can help you guys.
Made in China. You
Yeah.
know is great. You know, quality control is great there in China.
Didn't you listen to that one guy? He said just teach your kids not to how to brush their teeth the right way, and you won't have to deal with this.
That is so many of those people. Oh, we try. We try.
You
They
just say,
try.
"Thank God you were here, concerned citizen."
We don't want to
Mm-hmm.
micromanage that. You got to pick your battles. And right before bedtime, that's not a battle I want to pick with a 7 and a 10-year-old. They're brushing their damn teeth. They're in there doing the freaking thing. They're helping their baby sister, 1-year-old sister with the stool. They love it. They go up there and help her. I'm not going to bust their balls because they're getting a little toothpaste here and there. I can clean it up in like 14 seconds. So I'll take that one on the chin.
I was gonna go somewhere else with that, but I'm not.
Now, what I can't take is when the drain is out. Like we have this strainer to make sure nothing goes down that drain. And I'm like, why,
Yeah.
why would you possibly don't ever remove this? Never in any situation remove this. And when I see it removed, I'm like, why? Why?
The
Like,
house could be on fire. Don't you touch that strain.
That's the hill. That's the hill.
before we got that thing, we had quite a few issues with stuff going down the drain. And since we got it, we've only had one
Yeah.
Mm,
in years. It's nice.
you're kidding. Kids and issues with drains? Nah.
Good investment.
Mhm.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Well, we'll be back at it to do it all over next week, I suppose.
Later on.
All right,
Thanks,
good
Dan.
night.
Bye. Nice to talk to you guys.
Fabio,
Yeah.
I'll
Good
invite
to
you.
meet
I'll
you.
keep inviting you. You better come back.
Come back, Fabio. Come back.
Yeah, for your maybe if I keep coming back, you start to build up the hate that
Yeah.
you are so many times building up, and
Feel the
It's gone.
hatred.
We can let the
Yeah.
hate flow. Let's do it.
Let the
Yes.
hate flow.
Let it
maybe.
That's
All
when
right.
that's when you get the inner circle there.
flow. Yeah.